Hello, Shabby Geekers, and welcome to Let's Talk About Your YouTube channels, right? So I had this, not an epiphany or whatever, Nick, but I had this thing where, you know, when you set up live streams and you set up videos and you set up these stuff and stuff like that, it becomes like a normal thing now. So you don't think about why you're doing it. You're just like, oh, Friday ZSR, you know, Wednesday special live stream, you know, Monday the Tub Thumpers, this, that, and so. And then last week I was I don't really look at analytics and stuff like that. It's not really a thing for me because I turned it more into a hobby like this. But I noticed I lost 5 subs last week in a week, 5, right? And you
I'm not laughing because you lost 5 subs. I'm just struggling to make myself beautiful with my lighting. That's what's going on.
You always have that thing where you're not bothered and stuff like that, but then you think, oh, you know what I mean? Have I done something wrong? Is it just bots? Is it this? Is it that? So forth. Now, it's not a moaning thing I'm saying. The reason I was thinking, and then I thought to myself, well, hang on a minute. You know, it's funny how you look at this as a hobby, you look at this as something else, but then it actually means something to you. So I just had this thought. Do you know what I mean? There's been so many people that have come on my channel and come on ZSR and come on yours, for example. We don't actually talk about why we do YouTube, or we don't actually talk about, do you know what I mean, why we set stuff up. So I thought, you know, before Tub Thumpers starts, I'm going to give this a couple of weeks and see how this goes. So first guest we've got, obviously, he's APD. Before we get into it, let's have a look who's here. He's here.
Hey, so Sags up, player.
G-Force is here. Oppie's here. Our Des, birthday boy himself. His birthday's finished now, isn't it? So yeah, he's here. Gone. You know her.
I know her, the Mrs. APD. She's only just through that. You're right, babe. Yeah, she heard that.
Mrs. T, hey, Mrs. T.
Mrs.
Nice
T.
to see you. Crazy cat lady, Jojo.
I think I know her.
Yeah, you know a few people. Our Keith, good old Keith, see you. Thanks, Keith, for coming in.
I think they're all, they're in my house, they're shouting hello to you through the door.
Hello!
Hello!
Yeah. Just watching Stu's DIY SOS filling holes with cards, removing the raw plugs, then fill the holes with filler. You might be getting a phone call, Nick, you or Des. How do I do this? TJC's here. Hi, TJC. Nice to see you, pal. Good old Johnny Boy's here. Hi, John Maguire. Nice to see you. Martin's here. Shabby Nick, Keith, Kieran, Jojo, G-Force, Hoppy, Des, Super John, the mini golf bottler. Oh, yeah, well, I don't know. Andrea, Carla, TJC, Jonathan, and John. Hit that like button. Thank you, Kieran. And nice to see you here, Kieran. It's nice to see you. So let's just get down here a bit. And now, if you have any questions as well, while I'm talking about YouTube, if there's anything, because as you know, and I've said this 1,000 times, on Shabby's, it's an interactive channel. I include all my chat, like the part of the, do you see what I mean? Like the part of the string. So if there's anything about YouTube you've always wanted to ask Nick or whatever, and I bring up a topic, ask him. You know what I mean? You're more than welcome. That's, you know, that's one of the things as well why I wanted to do this, Nick, because I've said thousands of times, and you do live streams like I do.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't for a chat, what do you do? Do you know what I mean?
Well, 100%. What do you do? Sorry, I'm just Rob Hopper just messaged me and said you look quite oversaturated. In other words, I've cocked my camera up, so I'm making myself pretty. Anyway, so what do you do? What do you do without your audience? You do it for them, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, ever since I started, and we'll talk as we talk to our guests and so forth. Like I said, it's Nick tonight. I will explain what I do on my channel and so forth. So I think this will be an interesting topic tonight. Jason's here. Good old Stu's here. Hey, pal. Nice to see you. The lovely lady Steph. I had Shabby Nick, the chat. Hey, Steph. Nice to see you. Wow, it's packed. It's absolutely packed. Nearly 40 in here already. Thank you all so much.
That's awesome.
Why is APD sitting there? I don't think he looks dark. I think he looks pretty light. So, hey, Gary. Nice to see you, buddy. Good old Gary Moore's here. Wow, everybody's turned up. This is awesome.
Yeah, man, it's good. And well, I think it's more to see yourself than me, but no, it's quite flattering.
Well, you know, I just like helping everybody out. You know, there's another thing that we don't discuss either. If it wasn't for people coming on and helping you, do you know what I mean? And I just, in a way, Nick, this is my way of thanking everybody, you know, to share the love, if you will. Because one thing about me, Nick, and you know this about me, I've never been competitive when it comes to YouTube. I've never been, I do this, nobody else should do it, or get an I've never been that person. You know, I've always said that if someone does well, that's part of us lot. and
Absolutely.
just absolutely passes Shabby or whatever, I'm always the first. You know, we've talked behind the scenes. Oh, look how well this person's done and how well they've.
There's
I
never
haven't got
been
a negative thing. No,
there has never been one person who's been negative as to somebody's channel growing, and nor should there ever be. No. I mean, it's like you said earlier about you lost, what was it, 5 subs last week? Yeah, so, yeah, I've got this thing, right? I've been teetering on 6. Do you remember when you were at the 1,000, you kept going 1,000, then you go 998, and then 1,000, 1,001, 999. So I'm on the 600 mark at the moment. So it's like, I've hit 600 subs. I'll probably never go much above that because I certainly don't play the YouTube game. But it keeps teetering up and down. It's like 600, yay, yay.
That's why, yay. You know what, mate? That's why I never did 1,000 sub video, right? I never did it because the same thing. I didn't come out and done this video like, yo, this is your boy Shams. I've got 1,000. Then I look and it's 899. I thought, oh, bastards. Do you know what I mean? Great idea, Shams. But you thought you'd start with this guy. I love our APD. I love him. I know it's APC, but I can't.
APD. It's APD, mate. The channel is going back to Action Pop Dab, and I can be bothered to change it all back over. So
I'm here as well, but it's only to get tips for selling pics of my charts. Good old Nick is here. Good old Chris is here. This is awesome, man.
Sorry, you've just lost so many subscribers, Shabs. Look, I'm showing
I'm losing them anyway. Look at that. Shows your muscles. I do YouTube for the cookies. That's awesome. Make yourself pretty. We ain't got all night.
That really hurt lifting my leg up like that. I feel I've just pulled my groin.
Hey, Palps. Best Gary Oldman voice. Everyone. Good old Palp. Wow. There's loads here. Nick's running so many filters tonight. TikTok is sending him a strongly worded letter. No,
there's no filters. I'm this ugly. You can't fake this level of imperfection. What are you on about?
Stu is here. I thought you got. Well, there's another thing too, and we've got Stu on next week. Good old Stu's doing this next week, so I'm going to have a good chat to Stu about the controversy and stuff like that. You know, let's have a look. I found the 5. So I understand. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not hurt my feelings, whatever. But it just, in a way, it helped me out, Nick, because it put this idea in my head. I thought, do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes it's like the people we've met and so forth. I'm starting to figure out we met these people. Are you, Nick? I'm starting to forget how you know these people, and because it's been so many years.
Yeah, I remember you how we came to meet each other, and I remember Luke Reynolds. The rest of you, you've just feels like you've been there forever. I don't really know at this point.
Hiya, Luke. Hiya, Luke.
Hello,
nice
Luke.
To see
Anyway,
you. I'm going to get down here, then we're going to start. We call him APD, but we know him as Nick without the K.
Oh, yeah, apparently I didn't do enough to deserve the K on the end of my name. Long story for another show.
When Shabby said he was going to talk about the APD channel, I thought this was a complaint. I tell you what.
There's plenty of complaints to be had about it, to be honest with you. My YouTube story is easy.
Nick made me do it. So what I've got 10 questions, and we're gonna discuss those 10, and then I'll move on to the next one, and we'll go on from there. So here's question 1. Before your YouTube channel, right?
Yes, Shabby.
How this works? Who did you watch, and you know, who did you find and stuff? Because I'll give you the reason for me. So I'm in America, as people know, and you know, when you live somewhere different, especially in Northern, we have an English have their own sarcastic. You know, it's like we're being nasty to each other. We're not being nasty to each other. We tend to take the piss a lot, and we tend to have a sarcastic way around us and so forth. So what I used to do is I used to work from home, as you know, and I'd have YouTube on the background, but I'd find English people, I'd find English casts to watch and this and that. I always liked the long format videos, meaning simply because I was working. So I didn't want to sit there for 5 minutes and get up and change the chat, that kind of thing, you know. So I came across a couple of lads like that. So that's what happened to me before YouTube. What about yourself?
So, and if you can hear frivolities going on out there, we've had friends over this evening, so they're just departing, but they're cool. No, basically, my channel. I like retro gaming and computer games and stuff, and have done for quite a long time. And for the longest time, I was following channels like the John Hancock, Metal Jesus Rocks. There's just 2 of the bigger ones that pop into my head, but loads of little channels watching gaming. And of course, I got into collecting Action Man. So
That's right, you did, yeah.
I needed to repair an Action Man. Well, of course, who do you go to on YouTube to repair an Action Man? Didn't know at the time. Found a channel called Toy Polloy. Sat and binge watched him. Oh my God, this is awesome. Then he put a post out about Luke Reynolds' channel.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to check this channel out. So then I checked out Luke Reynolds' channel. Then I'm chatting with Luke back and forth, as you do, because, you know, conversation sparks up. He puts me on to ZSR, then USR, you know.
Yeah, it was USR back then. No, you're right.
It was. And next thing I know, I'm on your bloody channel, like, and I haven't even got a channel. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You had me on because I collected Action Man. And I still, to this day, think Tez thought it was a different Nick. No one will convince me, otherwise.
I thought it was the other Nick. No, it's that one.
The other one. But no. And then I met VTR, and then you know, got chatting to your brother, and rest him. And it just snowballed, mate. It just snowballed. Next thing you know, I've got a channel because you said, well, you've got the knowledge. Why don't you do a channel? I thought, oh, I don't know. And then Dave helped me do all my channel bits and everything.
Yeah.
And then I'd start going to like Echo and then NEC, and it's just snowballed. That's what it is.
That's what I did. I mean, I've always said that toy collecting for me has always been, I was in the suit game for a long time, so I kept it to myself. Do you know what I mean? The lads I worked with, and they weren't interested in toys and stuff like that. So really, I was lucky enough because I had our Si. So me and Si have always collected, and, you know, we came off it. But coming away from Si and obviously moving to America, not that I was lonely or anything, but I've got no one to share it with. The people that have met my wife know she couldn't care less about any of this stuff. Do you know what I mean? She's not she's not interested at all.
I feel your pain.
It helped me out YouTube over the fact that I'm looking at like-minded people, and then all of a sudden I find Tez, and I mean Matt and Super Awesome. That was one for me. I found Matt and Super Awesome. I'm not going to mention the thing because it's if you know,
doesn't matter.
But
doesn't matter.
I saw them two and I thought, I like this. I like these lads. So I started talking from there and going in the chat and so forth. You know, let's have a look what G-Force is saying. He said, I started watching Usual Mike. Yep. Usual Mike was one of my firsts. Analogs. Yep. Retro Blasting. I've watched Retro Blasting for years. And the thing I watched him for is because at the time he was doing, like Toy Play, he was doing a lot of restoration videos.
Well, Analog Toys, of course, did the Action Man documentary. So when you're an Action Man collector, so naturally so you find our bit Retro Blasting. And then you find other channels, you find like All Things 8, and it spirals from the bigger to smaller channels right the way down the line. These are the channels you sort of cut your teeth on. And I never thought in a million years, sorry if this, I don't know if you'll ask this, like, I never thought in a million years that I'd be sat here tonight doing this when I started watching people doing little documentaries on toys and things. It's crazy.
And you've hit the nail on the head, Nick. And this is why I wanted to do something like this. It seems now that we've been doing it 6-7 years, regardless of how big you are or how small you are, that not that we take it for granted. It just comes natural to us now. But there was a time where you'd sat back and go, "No way! I'm with all these lads and I'm talking about this," and then you get bigger YouTubers on or smaller YouTubers on. To me as well, it's always been a sense of I know it sounds silly, it's doing a YouTube thing, but it was always important to me as well to add people on that didn't do YouTube. I always had that thing in me, and I've had it since I was a kid, that people have different personalities. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are laughing and talk, but they're not really one for coming on a screen and, hey, you all right, mate, and all that. So I've been lucky because I've always had that in me. Do you know what I mean? But like when we got our side to join, I never would have thought our side would have come on YouTube ever. You know what I mean? Because he had a different person. But when he came on, he was fantastic, and the more and more side did it, the more and more he loved it. Do you know what I mean? And he got natural and so forth. Let me just catch up with the chat a minute, buddy.
Of course, mate.
He says here, thanks to Jono, I've loads of ideas for my channel now. Awesome. Hi, Luke. He says, Shabby's fault a lot of us have as our channels. Shabby's fault a lot of us has as our channels, it seems. I accept no responsibility for any of those, Jono. Let's have a look. Any world but ours, you mean Shabby's got a lot to answer for? Definitely blaming you. Charming, you know. Travels with Jason said, I started watching videos from Orlando, then find a plonker name without he did a shout out to Retro Blasting and Luke's channel. So off I went to those channels and Retro Blasting and Luke's talked about. Oh, right. Okay. So he did the same thing as you. So what you're saying, Nick, is the same as Jason, is that you found one and then from there you found another.
Well, yeah, because naturally YouTube will as you know, with its algorithm, if you start watching a toy ploy video, it will recommend another toy video. If you start watching analog toys, it will recommend Retroblast. And if you start watching Reynolds reviews, it will recommend, like, you know, an all things 80s. That's what YouTube does. So of course, when you know what it's like, I mean, I hyper focus on stuff. If I get into a subject, like, even if it's of course, you know, when you're looking at toys you owned as a kid and someone's doing like quite a detailed video, the history of, it's like yesterday afternoon I watched Retro Geek Out. He'd compiled a load of his videos into like a long form video. That was over 2 hours long, man. I sat and watched the whole thing. And that's,
I love that sort of stuff. 2 hour video. I'll sit and watch them. Yeah.
Again, another channel I found, Ed. I never thought in a million years that I'd reach out to Ed, and Ed has been on a video of mine. Do you know what I mean? And you realize when you're on the outside of YouTube, you see channels and that, and I don't know, it's the farthest thing from my mind that I would ever become friends with any of these people.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of happens, doesn't it? If
you've been to these dudes, I mean, I was saying it last week. Darren Robinson's at my house last week. Darren, you know what I mean? And it's like, and I think that's what it is. I think because we've been together for so many years now, and we've all got to know each other and each other's wives and partners or whatever, you tend to forget all this stems from YouTube, really. So it's funny, isn't it? Geek Strong says, for me, I post bodybuilding on stage in a skimpy posing underwear for years. So I figured, how hard can YouTube be? I'm just waiting for the opportunity to put both together. Oh, cheers. Gary says, why did Stu steal Matt's channel name? Oh, I'm going to be honest, though. I am going to be honest, and I'm not going to stick up for either Matt or Stu. At the time, Matt was thinking of changing his name. He was. So I think by Stu coming along and getting that, and I'm not speaking for either Matt or Tez, but just the way I look at it, it was an opportunity for Matt to go, you know, I want you to change it anyway. Do you see what I mean? So that's what it was. I don't think Matt changed it for Stu. I think he was going to change it. Oh, brilliant.
Look, even banter aside, I mean, I looked a while ago and searched, and I ended up with there's another action popcast channel on YouTube. You know, it happens. People parallel thinking. Just is what it is.
I mean, I'm quite lucky because I've always been called shabby, always. Because I was in the suits all the time, the thing was not too shabby. Right. And then when Jen went to England and Jen started up the furniture business, it was called Shabby Jacks, because what we do is we make old furniture and we put Union Jacks on them. And we did brilliantly. I mean, that's how the business started. Jen would be on, because my children were babies at the time. And so she'd make this furniture, paint them all, and it's called Shabby Jacks. Then I got into it when I left the suit game and did all the pop culture and stuff and called it Shabby Geek. So really, it's not, I haven't got my name through my channel. I've got my name through my business and my nickname anyway. You know, so it's been, so it's just carried over for me. Hi, Georgie. Sorry I'm late. A big shout out to over. Yeah, there's 45 people in here. Thank you all so much. I'll Dalglish. Nice to see you. YouTube definitely pushed the US toy collectors hard compared to channels on this side of the pond. I think it was shabby being a guest on some US stream that I found the Irish and UK guys. I've always been one for that, and I know you have as well, Nick. Share the wealth, share the love. You know, this is why a lot of people have, and I'm not being egotistical at all when I say this. I'm just the way it is. People will message me, oh, Shabby, if it wasn't for you. And I've always had that thing in me where, no, if it wasn't for you. Do you see what I mean? The nicest thing for me, looking back before I started my YouTube channels, was there was people out there like me that did collect, that loved She-Ra and He-Man and Transformers, Star Wars, whatever.
I'll give you an example. The other night, was it Wednesday? No, it wouldn't have been Wednesday. You were streaming. Thursday night, me and Rob Hopper were just sat on StreamYard testing gear out. I said, Rob, shall we go live? And he goes, yeah, fuck it. Excuse my French, go live. I'll give us a minute. And I went live. And you know, there was nearly 20 people in there on a Thursday night at gone 10 o'clock, and we were just talking absolute waffle and bollocks, mate. Yeah. And all right, there was no real structure to it. We tried to, and there was a purpose of doing the stream, but it's incredible to think that you have these people, and it was all the regular names you see, you know, and you're like, oh wow, cheers, that's awesome.
Have you ever done that?
No one there.
You've gone back to your old videos, your old comments. I've done it a few times, and you go back to it and you see the same names now than you did back then. But you'll also see names that have come and gone. That's again another reason why you do this. You know, there was a lot of people that were here and they were one of us, and then life happens or whatever. And you know, I don't pry into people's business. They've gone for a reason, or they've just got fed up, or maybe they don't do. But that's funny as well. when you look back because I can, like I said, same as you, we can look back for years now, me and you. It's not like we've just
5
started,
years. My channel's been up now 5 years.
It's just funny, isn't it? It's just funny how it goes. I really see it. Everybody's turned up. This is amazing. I've always loved, you can pop in and out of the channels mentioned, even after months without being able to watch and still being welcome. Always, Rudy.
Of course.
Always. I think that's the thing as well. I mean, I'm not gonna. This is a positive thing, so I'm not gonna go on about. But what happened to me in November of last year? You don't expect stuff like that to happen. It's boom, done. And one of the things for me was that I was so grateful that I had YouTube and I had the lads and I had the people that supported me. And you all knew you are. I'm not going to say any names and I'm not going to turn it into that. But what I'm saying is, I've always had that in the back of my mind that especially now that people have things that go on in their life. Me and you, we've got something in common. We've both got an autistic child. Both of us have. And that isn't easy, is it? Let's be honest.
No,
you know
and we've had many a chat and sort of I've sort of chewed your ear off about it before and vice versa. But that's the thing, it becomes more than screen names, doesn't it?
It becomes more than screen names. Exactly right. So what Rudy's saying right there, if someone goes away and comes back, I've always had that knack, and I think you have too, and I think that's why I wanted you to come on first. I've always just like you've never been away. Do you know what I mean, Nick? It's like someone's been gone for a couple of months and they come back and it's not an issue to
I understand it. And, you know, I had stuff happen in my life back last year.
Yeah.
And I disappeared for a bit. And everyone was still here when they came back. And, you know, we both certainly understand, Shabby, that life absolutely does happen.
Yeah, it does.
And when life happens, you've got to deal with that, you know. I've never felt any guilt stepping away from YouTube or stepping back in or whatever, because the reason I don't is because I would never put that on anyone else. Why should you feel bad for going away for a bit?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I've had lots of people pop into my chat for, oh, sorry, I haven't been about for a while. It's absolutely cool. You're here now.
Yeah.
And we'll always be here for whenever you're here. It's not a problem. Hope you're doing well is the main thing.
And I agree 100%. So it's like I said, so when people do, there's nothing you've said that I disagree with. When people do come away and come back, yeah, you're here. Do you know what I mean? It's just, because the way I've worked it out, and maybe it's that my mum brought up 4 boys on her own, and I've always had a good upbringing, always. My mum, you know, I knew how to be polite to people and how to be friendly to people. And the thing about it is, I was never a bully. I always wanted to be fair. I was intrigued by people. That's what it was for me. So I always wanted people to feel welcome. Monkey Boy says I was confused by APD when I first saw him on the tubes. Now I know him very well, and if anything, I'm even more confused who he actually is. I step away for a second and 1 million people show up. Yeah, it's massive in here. It's nearly up to 50. Thank you all so much.
Madness.
Let's have a look. The night you played Cliff Richard songs to cheer up Keith, that was, and you never got a what is it? Did you? You never got a. How did you get away with that?
Mate, so I'll give some context I know I didn't see. As I say, me and Rob Hopper were just random. We'll go into what my channel does in a bit, I'm sure, but I don't normally do unstructured and just press a button and go. And I was just playing song after song. I kept saying on the stream the other night, I'm going to get one of those you're taking the piss emails like Shabby gets. Nothing. 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 Why does YouTube hate Shabby?
They hate Shabby. It's every week. I think someone's watching me, just waiting to send me that letter.
I played like songs from Disney films. I played Cliff Richard, especially for kids. The songs I played are songs that would absolutely get flagged up.
Yeah,
and
nothing,
nothing at all.
Brilliant.
And like whole songs as well, not 3 seconds.
Yeah,
whole songs.
JT says, if I think back, it was watching some of Sags's videos. Yeah, I loved Sags's videos. That sparked an interest in me. The reason I like Sags so much, because one of the things about Super Awesome, he's so genuine in his videos. You know what I mean? If he makes a mistake, he carries on. If he laughs, he carries on, and so forth. But that was the same thing about what we were saying about scripted and so forth. One of the things, going back to what I was saying before, Nick, about ZSR, is the chat. Because we don't script. I barely speak. Me and Matt and Tez, you know, we'll work through that. We've all had issues. We've all had things coming up. And so I'll see him on a Friday. So we're relying on a chat sometimes. You know what I mean? So if someone says something and sparks an interest, boom, here it goes. Well, and for 232 episodes, it's worked well, you know, so. It's
crazy. You know, the other night, Travels and More with Jason referred to me, because Stu came on as well. He referred to me, Rob and Stu as the Timu ZSR. What was it he called us?
Timu ZSR, yeah.
Oh, he did the abbreviation, so it was URA or something, whatever it was. Anyway, I can't remember, but yeah, no. Cheers for that, Jace.
Zoe says the best thing to do when we meet in person is we're not really meeting for the first time because we really do know each other. You know, that was funny because I'll go back to Darren last week. He came in, there's no awkward. You're right, I'm Mark, I'm Dan. You know what I mean? He was like, "Hi, Shabby, hi, pal." You know, I play a game on TJCs with him every Sunday. He's been on ZSR how many times? We talk behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So Zoe's exactly right there. And Wilbur Howard says, I've been quite part of a few different communities throughout the years online, and in person. And honestly, there isn't one tight knit and full of genuinely caring people as this one. I could not agree more. And especially what I've just been through, I just couldn't agree more. Just could not agree more. Right, next question, Nick. We're going to move on to this. You're watching YouTube and you're looking at the people and so forth. What sparked you? What inspired you to go, you know what?
You did, you lunatic. Literally you. It was your fault. It's your fault I'm here tonight. It's your fault. It's all your fault. Like I say, that appearance on what was then ZSR, and you were literally like saying, do a channel. Why don't you do it? And then other people are like, yeah, do a channel. And then Dave Topploy helped me do all my stuff and gave me a bloody camera. And next thing I know, I've got a YouTube channel. Yeah. And I'm like, this is snowballed from a shabby comment. And then here we are today.
I'm the same as you. I was born from the chat. So what happened is this fellow would invite me on to the Pally Boys at the time. I'll say what it was. So I thought I'll go on. But then I thought to myself, I've always been a genuine person. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I've always been that person. I'm not going to change the way I am. And I'm 100% not going to put on an act. So I'm not going to start coming on going, yo, this is your boy Shabs and all that sort of nonsense. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to just be myself. And so I came on and was myself. And I think people that have met me in real life, they can say the same thing. You know, he's just that normal fat bloke that we watch on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? So I thought if I'm myself and all that, and then the lads were saying, "Oh, Shabby, you've got to do it yourself. You've got to do it yourself." So I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go, and yeah, basically I've been here ever since. So was that? Did you know exactly what you were going to do though? So when you started your channel, did you sit back and go, right, this is what I'm aiming for?
The instinctive thing was to do toy content because the channels and all you lot were doing toy content, and of course, I had a decent collection of my Action Man and stuff. So I went with that. And then I like podcasts and I wanted to do a podcast. And then I got more into doing that. And then I stopped doing toy content. And now my YouTube channel's I mean, if the reason I've only got 600 subscribers, apart from being terrible at what I do, is because I just don't, there's no formula to it anymore. It's what I want to do, mate. I do what I want to do. It doesn't matter.
I think that's what it was for me at the start because I never really took it seriously. Do you know what I mean? And the thing about it, at the time, my internet was crap. I was pixelated and so forth. But people seem to, you know, I carry on, you know.
I think I did take it a bit too seriously at the start. I think I absolutely took it far too seriously. Nick could have been, because you and Rob were talking over music. Shabby tends to be quiet. Shabby quiet? What are you on about?
No, because I let the music play, but you and Rob talked over yours. That's probably what it is. So
there you go. We'll attempt it again. We'll try it again. But no, I think I took it too seriously because I sort of found I kept going in the YouTube studio up and going, oh, this video's got this many views, and oh no, why is this one not doing as well? And I thought, you know what? You're never going to make any money out of this. You have no intention of making any money out of this.
Yeah.
Just who cares? Just do. Look, I'm not knocking anyone who wants to build a channel and grow a channel.
No, we're talking about you. That's one thing I want to make clear. Yeah. Your opinion, your channel.
My thing became very fast. Look, this ain't never going to be a career that's going to pay for the roof over our heads. But what this can be me talking about silly subjects. I mean, dude, look at the stuff I've spoke on everything from Action Man to bananas on my channel. Yeah. Microphones to bloody Furbies. There's no and I don't care if it interests me and someone wants to come on with me, because I'm not. You'll notice I never really go on my own. I'm not really that confident to do that. And a couple of times I have been on my own on screen. I'm a bit like, oh, shit.
It is nerve-wracking because I've done it. My latest one, the last video I did before this one was the top 5. And sometimes do you get like that, Nick, as well? Because I do get like that. Like I said, tonight's about the YouTube, and I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes I get a bit like, oh man, I'm asking these people again to come on, and I never want. Mind. Maybe it's just a paranoia thing. I always have that thing where I don't want people to go, you know what, Shabs, not to. And so I thought, well, I'll do top 5 on my own and see what it is. Do you see what I mean? But you see, that's my issue. The way I work it is the same as yours with real rejects, with lame and all that sort of stuff. You tend to have people on it. Oh, your channel doesn't work. That's the way I look at it. Without Tub Thumpers or ZSR or top 5, how does my channel work?
Yeah, but that's it. But the thing is, like you said about you being you, I am me on YouTube. This is me. Shabby's exactly the same person, except all the kissing.
I'm not a drinker, Nick. I'm not a drinker, but the year I've had, I thought, you know what, I loved it. I looked around Joe Fest and all my friends were there, and everyone was having it. I'm gonna have a few.
I hug. I'm a hugger.
Kissing everybody.
When I'm pissed up, mate, I'm a hugger. I hug everyone. You see, I would like to think I am the same Nick on here. I mean, maybe a bit more energetic sometimes when you've got a green monkey puppet jumping around on screen, like, Robert the Monkey. For those that don't know, it's a show me and Monkey Boy do. Lame, but self-promotion. However,
you self-promote.
However, I can talk to you on Shabby, you know me. You've spoke to me behind the scenes. You'll speak to me having a sort of a more serious chat, and the next thing I'll be pissing about doing something stupid, like on your channel, pulling a condom out of my ear. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's who I am. I don't.
Well, that's the thing. I remember asking. There's a few people I've asked, and one of my favorite things about how we've all set up our YouTube and our ideas and so forth is how different we all are. And that's one of the things. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we have different personalities. We're from different backgrounds. We talk about different stuff. But I enjoy that. I'm a big fan of that. And, because I remember you saying about the condom trick you were going to do. And you were like, oh, Shabby, you sure, mate, and so forth. Or the sock mayonnaise when it came to... But that's what you expect.
You've done a naughty sneeze.
But you see, that's the thing. I'd rather have people on like that are themselves and that are funny. Do you know? I've never had that thing in the back of my head, Nick, where I've gone, well, I can't get him on because nobody knows who he is, or I can't get him on because he's attitude. No, Shabby's has been welcoming to everybody.
I love having people. It's like when I do Lame with Monkey Boy, right? I have loved doing shows. Everyone I've done shows with, be it Real Impact, my movie series, be it APC, which I need to do another one of those really, because that's more the pop culture oddities. I love everyone I've been on with, but it's like when I go on with Monkey Boy, he's a natural comedian. He's absolutely nuts. And me and him, it's almost, so me and him, we have this philosophy. You never worry about ripping on the other one if it's going to make someone laugh. Like there's no safety net. Like you're not safe. We're a bit gentler with guests we've had on. Yeah. Apart from the time we had VTR on and we brought Robert out randomly and had this green monkey asking him a question. Of course, no one speaks monkey other than me. But and people listen now going, what the hell are you on about? Well, this is the thing. My channel will go from literally, this is a dynamic microphone with a cardioid pickup pattern to, oh yeah, we've got a monkey that's got a mayonnaise sock. There's no... There's so no stupid.
But that's the thing, you see. It's like I've always had that thing, the way everybody meets as well, because I'd hate that if someone met me and thought he's not like that, he's a completely different person. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather just be myself, because then you're not shocked by anything, are you? And then also as well is when you open your house to people or you meet people at these conventions, whatever, you want them to feel like they know who you are. I think he's always said it before, well, you meeting your friends, if you will. But can you imagine if you'd come on here? This is the way I look at it. Like I said, my opinion is you come on here and you do something, then you meet in real life and you're just not the same. I just always thought, because to me, it's turned into more than just doing your YouTube channel now. We've all discussed this. We've said this many a time where, we've talked about a lot more things behind the scenes other than YouTube.
Oh, well, look, because of you, I've got my boxing buddy now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there you are. So me and you'll sit there and watch the boxing
together.
Yeah, I agree with that. Natural comedian Keith is a natural Cliff Richard fan. Natural Cliff Richard fan. APD, APC. So why did you change it from APD to APC?
Okay, so this was stupid trying to follow a YouTube thing, right? So, and this is why I should probably change it back. So, because I was changing the style of the content, so action pop dad, action because of Action Man, pop because of pop culture, dad because dad. Jackson came up with the name, my son.
Right.
But when I changed the content, I thought, oh, well, we're getting rid of it. Didn't get rid of it, but archive some of it or whatever you call it. And I thought, oh, fresh start for the channel, go the podcast route. Oh, it will be, we need to sort of rebrand it. And do you know what? It made no difference because, and I don't mind. Look, my name is Nick. You all can call me Nick, but like APD, I'm so used to being called APD now. It's fine. So APD, APC.
Well, we tell that joke, don't we, about Usual Mike when he thought G-Force was called Gary. I mean, that was one of the funny, because I think G-Force, I've been out with G-Force how many times here? Scuba, how many times? I always call them G-Force and Scuba. I rarely call them Mark and Pete. Rarely. Do you know what I mean? It's because that's who I know him as. And it just, how many people just call me Shabby? They don't call me Mark. Do you know what I mean? They just call me
I think I've
Shabby.
called you Mark once or twice in the whole time I've known you.
Yeah, it's but then again, I've always been known as that basically. So especially in America. So, and I know it's funny that even though we don't put on an act, the majority of us, and we do talk, we're still known as our names like APD. Because when you changed it, and I remember the people that were coming up and following him. One of them said, "Why Shabby keep calling Nick APD? It's APC." But it wasn't to me. It was always APD.
And to be fair, it's still, even on here now, it's still APD. So it's APD from the APC. Yeah. Just to confuse it.
I have that thing in Tum Thumpers where I go, VTR, DTM, going through all the things. What is it? APD or OPP, yeah, you know me. Do you know what I mean? Suki got it straight away. I call Shabby Blitter Blue Nose.
You know me.
Unbelievable. Blitter Blue Nose. Weirds me out sometimes when Mark, when I'm around Shabby. Yeah, and I suppose that is weird, but I'll never forget it. So the people that don't know, we had Usual Mike on behind the scenes, and there was about 8, 9 of us in there. And we're talking, and one person went, Mark, to G-Force, and Usual Mike's like that. And you could tell by, so I went straight away, what's wrong with you? And he goes, who's Mark? Like that. And I went, I remember, he's known G-Force for years. And I went, G-Force? And he went, oh, I thought his name was Gary. Because of the G-Force.
Yeah, but the other night when Luke was on Any World But Ours, I just kept saying, oh, Any World But Ours, because I knew him for that, even though it's a longer name. I know that name before I knew him as Luke, if that makes sense. So you get used to.
Yeah, it's like I'll still call our Luke Reynolds. Yeah. You know, our Des. You know, Des has always been our Des.
Des T.
Really. Yeah,
There's
it's
T.
Funny, isn't it? Little things like that. He says, "Hi all, I hear from the start, but play with my toys." Well, it's lovely to see you, Connor. It's awesome to see you. Dalgley says, "I swear too much for YouTube and probably banned." I wanted to go into that too because obviously you are. And you'll know this yourself. I mean, especially you and you, Monkey Boy, you do push the boat out a bit. You do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But do you always have that thing where you both think, hang on a minute, let's just rein it in a little bit? Or do you never think that way?
Well, I'm not. There are certain things that are absolutely off the table just because it's not worth the fallout. Like, and there are things that we agree. And there's a word that we'll never use on it. We never use the C word. Like work out which one it is because we just don't. Although I use it all the time in the real world.
Yeah.
But we try. But yeah, the thing is when you're doing lame, it's me and Monkey. Stupid encourages stupid.
Yeah.
Like, so
I know that
he
feeling,
gets silly, so I get silly, and it just gets sillier. And it's not a competition. It's not. But sometimes I just need to be weird.
Well, you've definitely got the right co-host for that then. Do you know what I mean? Because you both feed off it. It's not one of you sat there. I'll give you an example. I was bringing up waffle stomping once on our thing, right? And our side went furious, right? He was so mad about it, that. But there's another thing too why I said about reaching the boat out a bit, because I remember our side used to smoke on my streams, but he'd do that, right? Or every time I'd play a video, you'd see me behind the thing do that and come back off. And I said to him, why'd you do that? You're a grown man. Why'd you, do you know what I mean?
Well, I used to do it too. You told me not to.
You know what I mean? He said kids might be watching, and I thought, in a way, barely no kids are going to watch us, but we do know our children, and my son will watch it back and whatever. So
it's personal preference, and I respected Si for that. I mean, I'm a bit of a naughty boy, but and I'll just vape away. But like it's like with
I
Lane,
do.
it's
I
like,
just vape away. Yeah.
well, it's like Stu when he did the charity stream this year, like he's like, oh, do you and Monkey Boy want to come on and do a segment, the 9 o'clock segment? So me and Monkey Boy start going, we've got the prime time slot. Ridiculous. That's what we were saying. And I was like, we've got to do something at the start that is going to make Stu's stomach just churn immediately. Like, oh shit, what are they going to do? So we had so it's not up anymore because he couldn't keep the stream. So we spoke about biscuits on the stream. We had,
right.
We had Adam Berry on, we had Adam Long, it was Georgie, Stu, me and Monkey Boy, right? And me and Monkey Boy racking our brains. Okay, we've got to do something that is absolutely going to make Stu and Georgie go, oh, what are they going to do? We were never going to cross the line. We know where we were.
So do you have that in your mind then? So when you do go on other people's streams,
we don't. Yeah. Even with you with the condom gag, the mayonnaise, it's all look bit behind the scenes. There is a bit of contrivance in Lame, of course there is. With there's gags, there's certain amounts of stuff that sorry to give it away, but
TJC something. And sometimes I forget that because our language on TJCs, but I think it's because I'm sat at home gaming and I've not got my setup on. I forget that I'm on TJCs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so. I mean, yeah, but. People will always slip up. I always say to people, don't worry on the stream. I've got a couple of rules. If someone's not been on the channel before, I've got and it's not me going, you don't do this. That's like I always avoid this because I don't want this. But it's like Stu and Georgie stream just to get back to that. So me and Monkey Boy, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? So we were talking about biscuits. We were going to have a debate about biscuits, and actually it generated really good conversation. So we put together a title card with Robert the Monkey on it, a picture of Nigel Farage and a picture of Boris Johnson.
Right.
So of course, when people bring that card up and you've got this green monkey stood there with this serious political music behind a Union flag, people are like, what the are they going to be talking about? Biscuits. Because if you looked in the corner, there was a jammy Dodger.
Right.
But it's just little things like that. So when people look and like, what are these idiots going to do? This is nothing. We're never going to cross the line.
No. Jason says, Nick, do you set your live stream over 18? You can do it, or do you just leave it as it is?
I'm not too worried, Jace, to be honest with you, because like the only kid I know that watches my stream back is my son, and he lives with me. So, and there's a certain amount of like, he's just used. I mean, my kid tells me off for swearing all the time. I don't worry too much because I don't think me and Monkey Boy go too far. I really
no, I don't think you do. I don't. I think
it's silly.
You know, knowing you both, I think you do that because I do it too. So sometimes I'm one of those people that'll say something before I think, do you know, and then I'll realise. So I try now when I'm doing live streams to. I mean, I do push the boat out. You know, I've said a couple, especially Matt. What Matt comes out with is, you know what I mean, but. I think people, when they've watched you for a long time, like you and Monkey Boy, they know it's tongue in cheek. They know it is. You know?
Right, so we did a stream a while back, right? Me and Monkey Boy, yeah. And the gag was at the start. The gag was that Monkey Boy was. I went on my own, and I'm like, oh, Monkey Boy's not here. I'm going to phone him. I'm on camera giving it all the spiel. Monkey Boy, I'm phoning him up. And anyway, eventually he picks up. He's like, hello. I'm like, where are you, mate? We're meant to be streaming. Oh, anyway, he comes on camera and he's all like dazed and confused. And anyway, he walks to the toilet.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, turn him off. And he starts, he did not pee. The spoiler is it was a massive bottle of 2-litre water. Anyway, he's pouring this down the toilet like that. And people like, Jason's like, take him off camera. He's not ready. We knew all this was going to happen, even to the point that when I got to the NEC, like a few weeks later, Des T, bless him, comes and goes, was Monkey Boy all right that night? I was like, yeah, it was complete. The whole thing was, it was a bit. It was a bit, but people were like, what? Take him off. It's like,
Delvin says, I think you and Monkey Boy could go further, to be honest. Darren brought back Shabby 3 cans of custard. He thought he'd found gold. Yeah, he did, bless him. And that's a good segment because it moves me on to my next question, which is this one. This one was really hard for me. Because if you've noticed for the past about three and a half years, I stopped making videos, stopped completely, right? And I'll give you the reasons why I did. So when I first started, my daughters were doing it from the intrigue, like, oh yeah, Dad. You know, there were kids at the time, you know what I mean? And so they do the videos, and then Jen would do them with me too. Jen would make little sketches here and there, and I've always found my wife to be one of the funniest people I know. She's very quick, she's very sarcastic, very, you know. So when she was in the videos, Nick, and when my kids were in the videos, it was brilliant because Suki, even though she wasn't in many of the videos, every video I made, she'd be behind the camera for me. She'd do it all for me and stuff like that. Well, obviously she got older, and obviously she got her friends and she wanted to move on. So she didn't make that many, you know, videos. And so when she left, Lucy started to do it. But then I realized as well, you're watching other people. And I was primarily at the time doing toy videos, but I wanted to put like a funny sketch in it, like the Olympic sketch or Jen collecting, you know, Star Wars wine bottles and stuff like that. So as time moved on, I remember my last video I made was I got a gift from VTR, and the amount of work I put into it, I was editing it, I was doing this and I was doing that and so forth. And I put it out and I just thought, do you know what? And I remember because at the time I did one take about 4 or 5 times, Nick, and I just thought, that's not me. I've made it. I've tried to say something funny. It didn't come out funny. So I've done it again and done it again. And I thought, this ain't shabby then, because by the time I've got the take I want, and I'm not an actor, do you know what I mean? It was not as if I wanted my videos to be pure and perfect and all that sort of stuff. So I went straight on to live streams. So my idea for live streams was things like, well, Cy came up with Tub Thumpers and I came up with Top 5, and then obviously ZSR is ZSR. And then I came up with you. What about you? What ideas do you come up with for your channel?
So I am primarily live like you now. Yeah. So from a Real Impact point of view, which is the film series, which the last one I had to postpone because I ended up getting plaster in my eye and remember half blinding myself. Yeah. And you know, so I do Smith Lord. That it is going to happen, mate. I promise you, we'll reschedule. But that's just get someone on who's passionate about a film, talk about that film and have a good conversation. You've been on Real Impact, Shabs. You know what it is. It's just, come on, we'll talk about the film. I'll throw a few facts out and we'll talk about it. Yeah. The chat, throw in their bits. Action Popcast, find a weird trend from or something. I mean, that was like weird pop culture oddities. And to be fair, Real Impact was born out of APC, because me and Kim noticed, Kim Gonick, the original co-host on it, noticed that we would do it. We'd done a few films, like we did Nightmare Before Christmas and we did Rocky Horror. For those that don't know, I'm a massive fan of Rocky Horror. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to come back to something on that Rocky Horror stream in a minute, to something you said, Shabby.
I think you had pink eye, Nick.
Yeah, I wish I had. It would have been less bloody painful. And yeah, so that's where we went, because the toy stuff didn't. The thing is, mate, I didn't enjoy doing the toy stuff, so there was no point in doing the toy.
There's so many people doing them. I think that's what it was. And so I've made a video, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not a professional. So then I'll watch somebody doing the same video, and it's perfect, it's brilliant, and I don't really articulate that, even though I can never shut the France up. I don't articulate that well, so I'm not one to talk about color paints and articulate. And yet you look at Connor. And Connor's videos are awesome on him. Do you know what I mean? Awesome, he covers everything. And so
I can't get anything like that.
No, and so I that's why I did it this way. You'll notice sometimes I get not nervous as in intimidate, but I get nervous when I talk fast.
The camera messes me up. The camera will mess me up. Like when I'm live, I'm fine. Apart from my verbal tics and my stammer that occasionally kicks in when when things.
See, I say words wrong, and I'll look back and I'll say something. I'll think, what did you mean by that, Shabs? Do you know? You know. So
I'm going to spoil it for everyone now. If you listen to me talk. If you can tolerate me, I repeat myself. It's a verbal tic I have. I'll say, "Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great." And when I'm editing something, it does my head in, because I'm like, why did you say it twice? Yeah. And if I get a bit stumbled up, I'll go.
I say brilliant when I'm on my own.
Stop doing it.
When I'm on my own and doing a stream on my own, I always go, "Oh, brilliant, brilliant," and I say it all the way through the stream. Or I'll always end a sentence me with, "Do you know what I mean?" That's just where I'm from. Or and so forth. Jen used to take the piss at me all the time for that, and so forth. And so forth. And I'm like, but you don't hear it yourself, do you know? Because you're talking so much.
It's weird. It's weird because I've got so many and I have got an actual little stammer, which will come out when I'm nervous or if something's going wrong. And it's so minor. And the worst part about it is when it happens and I get wound up by it's like, stop. It gets worse. But anyway, So ideas for videos to carry on. So back on the Rocky Horror thing I was going to tell you about, when we did the Rocky Horror 2-part thing we did for Action Popcast, the podcast at the time, we went to so much effort. We basically frame for frame recreated the intro of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. We had Stu singing the song for it. We had Pete reading it. I got anyone and everyone involved who wanted to be involved, like, you know. And I have to say, I can look back at it now, and I go to myself, I'm still proud of that to this day. It's the most skipped section of that video. So that alone goes, well, there's no point in pressuring yourself and doing all that. I'm glad I did it. I learned a lot from it. But then another thing that happened on YouTube, because when I started doing my podcast, my audio sounded horrific, man. It was all, I mean...
Well, we're going to go through your tech as well. We're going to go through that.
Yeah. But just to give an idea on what... So I was in a band for years. I was setting up PAs. I could set up and EQ and do stuff. Like, my ear's pretty good. And I'm like, what's going on? It turns out it was a Windows. It turned out the lack in my knowledge was
that's what it comes down to, though, doesn't it, mate? Lack of knowledge. It's like you'll be on and you're fine, and someone in the chat will go, "Oh, you look like this," or your sound's off, or because you're not well versed, it throws you like mad, doesn't it?
And then
honestly, it throws you.
Me being the mind I am, then I go down a rabbit hole. And next thing you know, I've been reviewing microphones because I enjoy it. Yeah, I genuinely enjoy it. And I won't lie to you, the company that sent me these, I don't even have to make the videos if I don't want to. And the last one, to be fair, I was a bit mean to the microphone they sent me. But the thing is, I just got Shabby, I don't know you know what it's like. If you're into something and your brain gets into that, I enjoy it. And I call it tickling my brain. If it tickles my brain, if it excites me, everyone else in the world can find it boring, but it's stimulating my brain.
To me, with ideas and so forth, I've always had it in the back of my head, always. And people that know me and people that have watched me for years, they know I'm not full of shit when I say I've always thought of other people watching. Always. Because I've always thought of YouTube channels that we've all done. Me, you, people in the chat. You'll watch somebody, and then eventually you go off them. And it's not a case you've gone off them because you don't like him anymore. You've just moved on to other things, or maybe it's like a TV show you've watched for 7 seasons, and all of a sudden. So I've always had that in the back of my head that if I'm going to do something like this, especially streaming, I want to entertain people. I want to make sure I've put as much effort in ideas, and ideas for me is hard, and that's the thing, because it's like I didn't want Tub Thumpers to become top 5. I didn't want top 5 to become ZSR. I don't want this to become any of them, because I don't want people to keep coming into Shabbies and think, God, it's the same thing over and over again. Do you see what I mean?
I feel that, because when we do, the format of Real Impact is not too dissimilar to the format of the Action Popcast, the way I run it. But then Lame is completely nuts, like whatever. And it is hard to get that separation. It's hard. I find it hard to not have all your different ideas amalgamate into one thing.
Because we are going to do it as well. There are going to be people out there that aren't copying you, but it's a similar thing. So that's why, in a way, I've always said it to myself. I stay in my own lane. If people have an idea that's like ZSR or like Real Impact then fine. That's nothing to me. Do you know what I mean? You do what you have to do. But that's why I never complain about other people's channels either, because it's not really any of my business what other people do on their channel.
So I'll share a little story, right? So the first ever video I did on YouTube, I did it with Luke Reynolds because I was nervous to do one on my own, right?
Yeah.
And we did a video about collecting Star Wars on the cheap, and there's quite a few videos out there like that. But I found one particular video, and I sent it to Luke. I sent the transcript to him. I said, oh my God, this guy's used the exact same transcript as us. He's like literally watched our video and do you know what? Me and Luke laughed, like, fair play to him. We've made it. Yay, someone's copying us. We've made it.
That's what Jenny always said to me. Jenny always says, if you find something that's roughly the same, it's a form of flattery if you look at it that way. Do you know what I mean? Because people think that's a good idea and they take it on. And I think people do their own version of that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, someone could go, well, loads of people have done collecting Star Wars on the cheap. Who are you to think they copied you? No, it was word for word. Yeah, it was word for word. And that's fine. I don't care. I don't own this stuff. Do
I
you know
look
what?
at it the same way.
If that geezer got to have a good time making that video and he got a few views and he enjoyed it, fair play to you.
Yeah.
Fair
I mean,
play
look
to
at
you, lad.
this
I ain't
week.
worried.
We do your ZSR quizzes. You do your Stew quizzes. We were on John's yesterday doing his quiz. They're all completely different. You're not watching the same show. All different formats,
Yeah.
all different people. And
Absolutely.
And to me, I think it keeps us all together. It's like we're the Wu-Tang Clan, if you will, right? And so we're all in a band, but then
Can
we
I
all
be
make our
ODB?
own. We all make our own solo albums, if you will. But underneath that, so that's the way I look at it. Do you see what I mean? That you find one, you find the other, and it all entwines with each other in a way. Delvian says mine is actually does my edit. Actually, yeah, there's one. Des says, but those little ticks are what make us. Yeah, but sometimes you think when you watch it back and you're like, God, Shabby, you're saying the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Sam Soulful, brilliant, and all that sort of stuff. We had to make custard from scratch when I worked at restaurants. Powdered custard, did you? I used the words right so much in my videos if I edited, but I'd try and edit some of them out. Yeah. Zoe says all those phrases, stems and quirks, and make you you. Yeah, I agree with that. MOD's here. Nice to see you, pal. Being weird is part of the fun of being alive. I've always worked that out myself. We're grown men that collect toys and love pop culture, so we are a little bit different, I suppose.
I love weird is great.
Delvian says, I find the tech explanation. We're going to go on to tech in a sec. So explanation reviews, especially in the mic ones. Oh, that's a really nice thing to say. I try. I do get worried about it. Do you know what I mean? And it's easy to say, things like, oh, I'm not really that arsehole. I am. I'm a person that I try. I try and be nice to as many people as I think I can count on one hand in 7 years who I've fallen out, and I haven't really fallen out. There's that one tulip you all know from years ago, but that was, I think, fairly obvious to us all. Apart from that, I haven't. I think many of you here, not one of you can turn around and think of one time I've been pissed off. I'm not a person that does that.
Do you know what, mate?
But I think that's having autistic children, don't you, Nick? Because you have to sit
I'd agree.
back,
do you know what, mate? If there's anyone who's ever pissed me off prior or I've pissed them off, it's gone. It's done. I'm not losing sleep over it. Don't you lose sleep over it. Let's just all carry on. We're all humans. We're all humans. You don't know what's going on in
people's lives. That's what
absolutely
it is
that. Absolutely that. The thing is, if you can you can have a conversation behind the scenes we had one night, Shabs, when me and Si had a bit of a bicker that night, right? And we were just all friends 2 minutes later. Like, that's great. And that's just carry on with life. Just carry on. And that's the thing. When your friends don't always see eye to eye. Let's not.
I agree with that too. But it's nice to have a disagreement without kicking off, without falling out. And I've always been one of those people. I think I've always understood that people have a different opinion than I have.
Absolutely.
Do you see what I mean? So I've always kept that there. So
you think, I've always said it like, we're a group of lads. There are ladies in the group now. We're a group of lads. Occasionally you are going to have different opinions. Sometimes you get a bit more vocal about it, but you know what? No one ever carries it in their heart. They just go, all right, it's done. It's done. Move on.
And I think that's what's kept us all together, really, in a way, because no one feels like
it's like
Rudy
brothers.
Said it before. No one feels like an outsider. Everyone,
But
Shabby's
like
one of the few I
sisters.
actually go back to when I can, and ZSR as well. I do miss a few, but live does get that when you've got no control over. Well, thanks, Donald Donner. Yeah, I appreciate that. Even when he's got blue hair, he's got blue hair. Who? The blue hair makes it even better. I don't know, Shabby. Not one quite transforms a transformer like you, mate. But that's the thing. I'd rather, I'd rather be honest and say, did someone say stay in your lane? Yeah, you have to stay in your lane, though. I don't know. I think if I'm sat here, Nick, worrying about what other people do on their YouTube channels, I'm not. I'm not enjoying it for me.
I've got to say this, Stu. I am an absolute arsehole Stu at times, but it's all in the loving nature. Like we were sat chatting last night about some stuff, and we don't. If anyone ever sees me giving Stu a hard time or vice versa, just know there's no malice in it. There's none at all.
No. The quizzes are all different, but some are better than others. Brilliant. Yeah, I agree with that. If people copy you, it's a form of flattery. If you have a lawyer, it's a form of copyright.
Very true.
I say a lot whenever, it's little quirks that you have in it, Donut. Lols. Cheers, Chris. I'm a bit sensitive when it comes to my eye. I've met him, though. I don't think he's as short as people said.
I tower above him. He's
the first thing I
tiny.
noticed when I saw him. I thought,
Tiny.
I said to
Teeny
Jenny,
tiny.
"He's quite small, isn't he?" Jen went, "No, not really." So I just think I'm taller than Geek. Well, I'm not getting into all that. I think Geek's just.
But that's me winding Stu up again. He's not tiny. He's just pocket sized.
Are we, Nick? Are we all human? Are we? Are you sure? Says Ardell. You know what I mean? Human at best. Well, that was the thing that it is about what you were saying about taking it. I mean, when Tub Thumpers is on, that's the only time I use memes. So as soon as I see someone in the chat, we'll make a meme and put it up. And it's all through light-heartedness. And I think that's a culture that we've all grown up with, isn't it? Taking the piss a little bit.
I love the fact that whenever you do a meme of me, you will get the picture of me with the biggest double chin you can find. It's always the worst fucking picture you can find.
Oh, brilliant! Right. So let's see. Well, here's question number. Let's do this. Let's do this. It's a memorable moment from your early days on YouTube. So obviously you're adapted now. You've done it for years, and so. But what's a memorable? I'll give you an example. When me and Jen made the 100 subscriber mark, that was a massive thing for me because I was the same as you. Unless it was the lads talking to me about it in the chat, whatever, I would never have done YouTube. I would be quite happy, just being like our Des, if you will, coming on stuff and. You know what I mean? And people know who I am or whatever, and stay in the chat, but in a way, not bothered. But to get 100 subscribers back then, I was honestly, me and Jen, we still got the video up. Me and Jen were 100, and it meant the world to me. 100 subscribers, because I'm the same as you. I don't expect to be massive. I'm not doing this to, you know what I mean, and grow huge. And because I'd probably be overwhelmed, mate. I'd probably shit myself, to be honest. If I woke up tomorrow morning and like what Stu's just done, he's made a video where nearly 10,000 people have watched. I'd think that's a memorable moment for me. Is the 100 the video we did?
Okay, so this is one that's going to make me sound very egotistical, but understand it's not. It was the first time. Now this happens because I know all the people, but I walked into Echo and Stu come up to me and goes, "Oh, are you APD?" And I went, "No, F off." And I just like, immediately with the thing, right?
Yeah.
And Stu will tell you that story. And I denied it for ages. Yeah, I did do it. But I had several people come up to me and talk to me about my channel. And I found that
you owe me.
I do owe you. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. I just texted her. This is her last cider. I fancied a drink, so she brought me a cider.
Go on.
Sorry. Did you hear her? You owe me.
we all heard it.
Yeah. And I know it sounds a very egotistical thing. It wasn't, but I was absolutely blown away that people knew, even recognized me in any. I know it, and I know it's a very small niche group, and you'd only ever be recognized in that room around those people. It wasn't the being recognized. It wasn't like I'm a star. It was like, shit, these people watch my stuff, and a few people were like, oh, that meant loads. Do you know what I mean by that?
I know.
I
watched me and G-Force watching to Joe Fest 4 years ago, the first Joe Fest we went to, right? And G-Force is in the chat, so he'll do this. So we walk in. I'm overwhelmed, first of all, by the size of it. It's massive. I just walk through. I got my ticket, my bracelet to go in. Walk in, all of a sudden, someone screams at the top of their head, "Shabby Geek!" And I wet myself. I went, what the front? And it was Analog Toys. He was stood behind where the Valaverse lads were, and he was pointing straight at me. And I was taken aback by that because I thought, how does he know who I am? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I was, and this sounds stuff. So, Boss Bounty, Tim, right? I was walking around looking for somewhere to sit by the Nando's at Echo.
I've always liked that bloke.
Yep.
I've always.
He's such a lovely guy.
Yeah.
And he just goes, "APD, come and sit over here." And I was like, I'm surprised you even know my name's APD. Not because he's like a big star or anything, but like, I'm like, oh, he's wet. And he's like, and he invited me over to the table, and everyone, these are lads, everyone's just like, yeah. And we just sat and have lunch together with a bunch of decent lads.
It's weird,
amazing.
It happened to me
Absolutely
Joe Fest
amazing.
before, and the guy, the Irish guy who does Action Force, he come over, and I was with Scuba because Scuba obviously buys the Action Force and whatever. And as he's talking to Scuba, he went, "Hi, Shabby."
Oh, do you mean Paddy?
No, he's called Stephen, I think his name was.
Oh, Stephen, okay.
Yeah. And he went, "Hi, Shabby." And I thought, it was weird. It was just the way, because I'm nice to everybody, so you know what I mean? But when people say that to you, like you don't know, you're kind of like, wow, man, it's It's funny, isn't it? So yeah, memorable moments for that. There's a few that stick out for me. Is there any more for you that stick out for you? I mean, how did you feel when you got to your first 100 subs? Did you feel? I mean, like I say, we're small, me and you. We're not big YouTubers.
I tell you what, when I
I
got to my first 100 subs, I can remember VTR Dave saying to me, he goes, "Now you can claim your channel name. You claim that channel name."
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. You can change it. Mark Shabby Geek. Yeah, I remember that.
And I was really proud of it becoming not just the random gobbledygook. It was my channel. Excuse me, I own that now. That's mine. Yeah. You know.
People recognise who there was in Target. Yeah, it's funny that Tez tells that story, doesn't he? Tez, it was in Sainsbury's car park, and someone asked him if he was Tez at USR. I mean, at ZSR. Then that was always funny the way Tez tells that story. But it's funny, isn't it? Little things like that, you know. Because I think as well, we were talking about this on ZSR last week. That it's funny when you see a new person in your stream because we're so used to the same people and. Do you know what I mean? Having our own little gang, if you will. That when someone, but it always makes me proud that as well. Like, somebody else joined, and you know.
I've just remember. I'll tell you the moment I was laughing about. But I wasn't going to tell you, but I will tell you the moment that made me laugh massively. Me and Monkey Boy were doing an episode of Lame, right? And we had a couple of trolls come in the chat, and I'm immediately like laughing to myself. They're calling us all manner of profanity and whatnot, and I'm not going to say it on the show. So me and Monkey Boy lean into it, and I'm like, "You've got no idea who you're picking on, idiot. Like, this is Monkey Boy. Like, pick on him at your peril.
Yeah.
Because he's smart. Yeah. He's quick. He's so intelligent." And it was just like brilliant. And it was just the dismantling of a couple of trolls.
Well, me and you were talking about that yesterday.
Brilliant.
Look at the chat that we have. If we got a troll in here, you'd have to get through the chat first before you got to us lot. And I'm telling you what, I'm very proud of especially the Shabby Geekers, because every one of them is, I want every one of them. I mean, name me something that's not been said to me or you.
Yeah.
That somebody else new's got to say. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
it's kind of like that moment in 8th Mile when Eminem's like going, it's like giving it all. I am this, I am that. I do live in a trailer. It's like, tell me something I don't know about.
Tell me something I don't know. Shabby, you're fat and stupid. Right. Smith Lord told me that 10 minutes ago. What you got to say? You know,
Smith Lord said that in the chat earlier before we even did anything.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I was so happy when I reached 100 subs says donut. I could claim my donuts. That's what it's little thing. It's funny, isn't it? Because again, this is why I wanted to do this show, because these little things you forget. You know what I mean? You are taking time out of your life to do these, and you are, you know, coming away from. It's like me, for example. I'm in the States, and so I always have to do mine in the afternoon, clearly because what built Shabby to get to 100 subs was the British and the Irish. They were the ones that did it. So I thought, who do I think I am now? So I have done a couple where I've talked to the Australians or the Americans, and we've done one at night, but it's a very rare thing for me.
I'll tell you something else as well that I was proud of. When I launched my channel, you might not remember, but ZSR had me on ZSR that night to promote the channel.
Yeah.
And I already had something like 77 subscribers in the first day of having put in a video out, right? Because the support of all the lads. And I think during that stream, it crossed over the 100. And that was why Dave reached out to me, I believe. And it's like, you can claim your channel name. Yeah. And that's a proud moment. And it's the support that everyone give you. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's incredible. Like, I'm no one, and you're all just supporting me like that immediately.
I'll never forget it. I mean, I agree. It's the same for me, really. I mean, a lot of people take the piss saying, Shabby, you're so far behind in the chat and whatever. But the reason for that is because I make sure I go through everybody. I make sure that everybody feels welcome and so forth. That's one of the reasons why I've never monetized my channel ever. And again, this is just for me, is because I've always had that feeling where, but then again, I'm in a position as well not to do it. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
When you've got 50, 60 people in it, like we've got up to 50 now in a chat, I've got enough space and enough time and enough people there that I can get through everybody. Do you see what I mean? If I've got 200, 300, 400 people in there, it's going to be a lot harder. But to me, it was never about monetization. It was always about seeing if I can achieve something, seeing if there's a goal I can reach. So it doesn't matter if I woke up tomorrow morning and got 5,000. So I think reaching the first 100 for me, that was a big thing, man. That was a massive thing for me.
When I do the live streams, I get anywhere from 15 to maybe 30 people in my live chat, and I'm happy for every single person that's there. And this is the example I give, and I'm not saying any channel name, no one in our community, nothing to do with toys, but there are a couple of channels that I watch, And whenever they do a live stream, they're lucky if they have 4 or 5 people in there. And they don't have that sense of brotherhood, camaraderie, family, community.
Yeah.
And I've got 600 subscribers. I'm on a live stream, so I'll have 598 now, because that's just what happens every time I'm on a live stream. And I have those same, your Delvians, I don't know, but Delvian, Des, Palps, JT, Mr. B, these people, I'm just picking a few off. I'm not missing them out on purpose just because the screen's over there. But these people, they show up to listen to me talk absolute freaking bollocks. And I'm like, well, thank you. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I'm still bemused to this day why people want to watch what I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'd hate me. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a dick.
No, I mean, I don't know. It is funny that, and I suppose again one of the reasons why I'm doing this sort of stream is because to tell people themselves thank you, because I think we're very, very lucky. We're in a fortunate position that we found the ones we have. It's like what Luke said before in Will But Ours, where he turned around and said one of the nicest things is this is one of the nicest communities here, which it is. We don't even like, most of us don't even like the word community. You know, because we're all pals in a way, you know. So we're very lucky to have that.
I agree. I mean, I've been around YouTube. YouTube's been around, what, 20 odd years now? I've been around it for years. I've been around various channels, various things. And whilst I've never been treated badly in any sort of group or community, this is the closest one I've ever been in. The one where people are genuinely welcomed and looked after. And it goes beyond, man. Look at the Autobots group that you said anyone can come into. There are people in there. People go through shit in life, man, and there's support for everyone. Support for everyone. It goes beyond this. It goes into being there for people.
I couldn't agree more. I've always had that in the back of my mind. You know, I'm lucky. I've got a beautiful wife, great kids, lovely friends. But I know there's people out there that haven't got that. Do you know what I mean? And they watch people like ZSR or Real Impact and so on, simply because we make them feel welcome and they feel like they're part of something. And I've always had that thing. Coxie says right here, I'd watched ZSR for about 2 years before I had my first brush with a YouTuber. I saw Matt Zero Hunter at Sandown, and it felt dead weird to chat to him about Toys Face. He's a lovely bloke, though, isn't he, Matt? He's a lovely bloke.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
John's on the screen. I couldn't resist.
Matt don't live that far from me. I mean, I've bumped into Matt a couple of times outside of YouTube now, you know.
Yeah. He says here, Nick, Donut says, I had a few come up to me at Crash Live saying, I watched your channel, I was shocked. It's weird, isn't it, Donut? It is it's only happened to me a handful of times. It's like, you know, but it does, yeah. Kieran says, I'm a troll in plain sight. Brilliant. Oshwood, true, charming nowadays. Palp says, I feel sorry for Bomb Bomb on GTA last night. They all ganged up on him. And Joe, there was a bloke in there last night. We went through. Brilliant. Hi, Mike. Big up, Shabby. I've been promoted at work. I hope you and your family are doing good. Buddy finger, red number 1. Red finger, red number 1. Well, Mike, I don't know what that means, but congratulations, mate. I'm glad we're happy for you. Yeah, being promoted at work is awesome. Well done, buddy. You can get through everybody. Just trying to steal Bonnie Blue's gimmick now, Shabby. You see what I mean? This is what I mean. What can people possibly say to us? You know,
and that's very tame for what people would say to people. To be fair,
awesome. Congratulations, Mike. APD. It's not always bollocks. Not always.
Mostly, but
I've just got about 6 subscribers and no videos. How long before I can monetize my channel? I don't know now. But that's the thing. I heard a lot of people this week, haven't there? There's a lot of things changed at YouTube and so forth. But to me, it was never a thing, because I always thought to myself, Nick, I'm going to do this as a hobby, and I've kept with that. And a lot of people turn around and make jokes. Shabby's never off, Shabby. But I am, in a way. I do Monday. Sometimes I'll do a Wednesday, and I do a Friday with ZSR. So really, on my channel, there's only 2 videos or 1 a week. That's it. I always make sure about that. So I always want you to come on and enjoy this, like you do your toy room, or you go, you know, like it's something. And I didn't want to sit there worrying about, because then with monetizing, then you're turning around and I'm not playing the music I'm playing, or then I'm kind of, oh well, Nick, don't say this because it's my. I didn't want to be that person, me. I just wanted to come on for 2 hours and enjoy it. The thing is, you know, because
you're not monetized right now, I can say bollocks.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Bollocks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So no,
an idiot.
I'm very lucky though. For a very, very small YouTuber, I have a good. I know you do. I get paid to listen to.
You tosser, Rob.
Just pirate Shabby's own videos. Oh, brilliant! I'm very lucky. For a small YouTuber, I have Patreons, and the Patreon helps me out. So everything that, if you've watched me from the beginning, you see that my PC's changed, my mic's changed. I always pump the money from Patreon into this. But I always feel like I'm going to give the best that I can then. So if I am going to play a piece of music, do you know what I mean? It's worth paying that, the monetization to go to them, really, in a way. What tip would you give someone starting out on YouTube? Be yourself. That's what I'd say. I mean, I don't think you need to tell you. I love Nikki at Retro Bunga.
Another tip I would say: be yourself, but like, don't bankrupt yourself. If you got one of these, you got everything you need. Yeah. Honestly, it's clear. People say it all the time, but if you got a phone,
I was talking about Nicky last. I don't know whether Nicky heard me last time I was talking about him, but one of the reasons why I fell for him and his lads in his channel, they're so genuine. They're just so.
I checked them out after you said, "Yeah, I watched them," and I was like, "Yeah, they're awesome."
Sometimes his mates, he's like, and you can tell they've known each other for years, and it's a bit like us lot now. You know, when you say something derogatory to somebody, no one's going, oh, because they don't know who you are. Do you know what I mean? So they all know who you are. So you laugh and joke by it. But him and his lads, honestly, I could watch him for hours. They have me in stitches. And like I was saying before about longer term formats, that's what they do. So you'll sit there and you'll just have a
I do like a nice long form video, mate.
Yeah, I do. I've always been like that. Because a lot of lads have said to me, oh, Shabby, because I'll get pissed off. Oh, I'm losing subs. Oh, Shabby makes shorts. It's not me. It's not me. I might pay our Lucy to do it. So.
A channel I watch, an audio guy, does other stuff, 3D print, that guy called Tom Buck, great channel. Yeah. He released a video the other day with another channel like Audio Hotline, and it was just under 30 minutes long, and I was like, oh, nice. I can sit down. There's half hour there. I'm looking forward to this one.
I had two pieces of advice when I was starting off. My advice was from Chris Smear at Chasing 80s and VTR. VTR said to me, you own your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel doesn't own you. Yep. And I'll never forget that, because the way he said it, because like I said, sometimes if I'm pissed off or I'm upset or I'm fed up, I won't make a video. I won't come on and do a live stream because I don't want to share that side of me with everybody else. If I've had a bad day, I don't want to make sure everybody else has had a bad day. And then Chris Meaver said, always make your videos for the people that watch it. Don't make it for people that don't. So that's why I stayed in my lane with that.
Do you know what? I totally agree with that, because not arrogantly, but I believe I could make my channel, or I could start another channel and have a lot more subs and whatnot than what I have. Whatnot, that's one of your phrases. There you go. See, you pointed it out to me, and whatnot. And I could do that. I know I could. Any of us could. But the thing is, I don't want to, because it wouldn't be me, and the people here wouldn't enjoy it. I tell you what, right? I did a short of my cat, bless him. Hello, Kim. She was originally on the Action Popcast with me.
She was, yeah.
She was, yeah. And I did a Aussie, bless him, my cat. He passed away last summer. I still miss the little tosser. But anyway, I just did a short of him walking through my Action Force collection, like knocking them all over. And it did like 10,000 views in a couple of minutes. And I'm like, cats are the way. Cats are the way. But it's not me. I shared that, not for views. I was like, oh, look at this. My cat's a dick. Like, because I'll show anything. But I don't know. I don't want to. I do not want to play their game. I've got no problem with anyone who wants to like grow their channel. But it's not for me, mate. I'm done. No. I'm just doing it for those who want to show up.
Well, it's like tonight. I mean, I piss and moan and I complain, and and I don't really share it because I know I sound like sometimes you sound like a hypocrite. And the reason I say that is because you'll turn around and go, I'm not asked about views and subs, but then you'll sit there on your own and you'll have a cup of coffee in the morning, you'll see and you go, oh shit, I've gone down again. But I try and be as nice and entertaining to everybody, but it's the same as watching Nicky. Nicky's grown. Nicky's gone double fast, but I can see why. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But Kim's also said it right here. Sometimes it's finding you. Look, found you guys. YouTube was hiding you. This is what I mean. You just, you've got to rely on that. But there's another thing too. The reasons why I don't advertise as much as I do, mate, is because I like people finding me for me. How many times have you done that, Nick, where you're going through YouTube like this and you come across a video, you come across something, you go, oh, I love this. And so you subscribe. So, I'd rather find it like that. Mate.
My mate Andy, his channel's called Andy Triple HDX. He does tech reviews, right? Randomly, one day on a Sunday, I've got YouTube on my TV, and it's just got showing live now his channel. I've noticed, so I clicked on it and I started watching, and I start chatting in the chat. And anyway, I mentioned, and he said whereabouts he was from. I was like, I'll be up there soon, and I got chatting to him, and we I can't remember whether it was Instagram or something we spoke. And next thing you know, he's like, "What's your address? Why do you want my address? I'm sending you a webcam. You need a webcam." So he sends me this webcam, and I'm like, "Thank you so much. Just really generous." But we're friends now, not because he sent me a webcam, but just randomly, a random channel, because he lives right near the NEC, so he come and met up with me.
Yeah.
Although he's not part of like what we do, he is, because I've said to him, "You are welcome. You are always, you walk in that group and everyone's going to welcome you with open arms, fella."
Yeah.
Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
And everyone's always lovely and polite to him when he's there. But what a random thing. Like, YouTube makes a recommendation. This is a guy who I will now phone up and we chat, we talk about mics.
Weird,
and
isn't
shit.
it? Little
like,
things
you know
like
what I mean?
that.
Like,
Yeah.
random.
It's funny. I think, like I say, with that, I make sure, and I say 100%. And again, everyone who knows me knows this is true. I don't do clicks. I don't stick with one side, or I don't do. I like everybody exactly. It always makes me laugh when I'll do a stream and behind the scenes, two lads that I've known for years will go, "Oh, it's nice to finally meet you," and I always go, because to me, everybody knows each other and so forth. Rachel Bunker says, "Right, what would you change or do different?" Nothing. And I've deliberately done that up here. I've always, if it ends tomorrow, right? So the Shabby Geek's done, I've got older, or I don't want to do it anymore, whatever. I can hold my head up high. And what I mean by that is that over 450 videos and live streams that I've made, it's never been negative, never slagged off anybody, never had a go at anybody, always made people laugh, always had a laugh and a joke. And I've always kept that strange with me. And you know me behind the scenes, I'm not a person to gossip. I hate gossip the simple reason.
You do not do gossip.
No, I can't. I've never liked it, because if I've always been a person, if I have something to say, I'll say it to that person. But the reason I'm saying that is because if people don't like Shabby, they don't like me, I'm not giving you a reason to like me. Well, he said this. Well, Shabby's done that. Do you know what I mean? So if you don't like me, it's basically you just don't like my personality, you don't like my videos. So I wouldn't change anything, because I think every mistake that you've made along the way, if you've done it in the right way and you've been honest to yourself, it just adds on. You learn more, don't you? It's more experience.
And I agree. I wouldn't change anything about the way I've done certain things on my channel, because that's brought me to, hey Goji, that's brought me to where I am now. And this, dare I say it, there's a level of fuck it, I don't care, I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
Because this is never going to be a job. This is never going to be a career.
But I think if you cater for other people, and it's like what Golgi Tron says, right? Yeah, Golgi. We're up to 60 people, by the way. 60 people.
That's incredible, man.
I make people's videos just for me. I think that's what it is. If you start to cater for other people in your own channel, then you're becoming more and more away from yourself, aren't you?
But look. It's I started following. Hey, BTR. I started following some channels who were like YouTube gurus in the early days of what you need to do to grow your channel.
Yeah.
And you listen to them, it's like, you're talking a load of shit mush, because to be honest with you, you've not said anything. It's word salad.
But I don't think I'd like that though, Nick. It's like I said before.
And I'm watching it and I'm thinking, if this is what you're saying I've got to do to grow my channel, I don't want to do that.
I've never once come on and said like, oh, if I don't get 100 subs before this or that. I've never been that person. And I think it's like I said before, I think if I woke up tomorrow morning, Nick, and I've got another 1,000 subs, I'd be wary of that. I'd be like, oh shit.
I would too, man. And this is why I back up every stream I've got, every video I've got. It's all saved. YouTube delete me tomorrow. I'll upload it somewhere else. Yeah, it's very simple. Yeah. And I'll carry on doing it in whatever format. To say I don't care does not mean I do not care about the people who watch me. I care about all of you, because most of you, if not all of you, are people I consider real world friends at this point.
I agree.
When I say I don't care, I mean I don't care for some twat at Google who's saying, oh, we've got to put 8,000 watch hours now and we don't want... I don't care. I don't care.
No,
you're not affecting me. It's like the other night when I come on and I started playing music on my stream. I was saying, "Oh, we're going to piss the algorithm off," even though it didn't tag me for anything. I'm just going to do me. YouTube was made, and the original tagline was "Broadcast yourself." So broadcast yourself.
I agree.
Be you.
One funny tip I was told was always watch your streams when you are live, which means you can see how you look on stream, and also you don't end up with 0 viewers. I'm quite lucky for that. I mean, I do all right for views for me. That I can't complain about, and that I do look at that. You know, I look at the size of my channel, and to get 60 people in a live stream or to get 250 people watching it, that to me blows me away. Do you know what I mean? I love that. Retro Bunker, I had a hard time due to the long form nature of covering toy hunts. I'd average about 6 stalls per hunt and usually have about 30-minute videos, not as digestible for all viewers. PGM Zero, PGM. I was looking for old guys talking about toys, and these 3 guys showed up on my YouTube feed, and we used to call them at the time US.
Yeah.
I'm not going to enjoy it. That's the thing, Luke, you know, but I'm also, you know, realistic too. There will be a time where I'll make them and you won't get that many people, and people have been, which is fine. It's live. People move on or whatever. But until that happens, you know, I'll be here. I love doing it. Question: would you say the toy YouTube world has changed over the? Yeah, I think we've all evolved, haven't we? This is how this came about, VTR. And do you think you've evolved? Because if you look at my videos from the start to what I do now, completely different person, completely different.
I watch VTR's videos, and I'm always when he does one of his videos where he's repairing something, like when he did the Godzilla restoration, that like Ting Godzilla, that guy blows me away. Like, I know Dave, the famous to me, it's the famous roast beef dinner I had with him. Me and Dave had roast beef dinner together, best roast beef I've ever had. Anyway, as daft as that sounds, I watch VTR, and I'm not saying this to suck up to him, because I don't need to. I know him, but I'm always in awe of what he does, because he's so good. And what he does, like the way he edits, the things, his creativity, and I'm like, oh, man, this guy's awesome. And I'm like,
some of us just get it, don't you? You watch one of your pals and you just
look
get
at
it,
VTR,
you know?
and I'm like, why the hell has he not got 150,000 subscribers? Because this is insanely good.
It is
stuff.
funny, isn't it? It's like your Reynolds on a Sunday, a VTR video. There's
another channel that should have so many more subs, because
Martin, look at the way Martin's done it a long time ago. Martin
a long time ago, absolutely.
They've gone brilliant, and it's funny that, isn't it? So people do evolve, and I think and you get the knack of it too. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So in other words, this is. I'll go on to my next one right now. Here we go. Up this with you because this is important. I know it is. Do you know what I mean?
It's going to bore everyone to death because I
wouldn't say it was boring people, because I tell you why I say that. That was one time I thought of giving this up, because where I lived at the time or whatever, my internet was really bad. So I'm doing ZSR, I'm going on other people's streams, and all you see is a pixelated Shabby. All you see is me coming in, coming out, and so on. And I said to our side, you know, I'm done with this. And our side said, no, maintain it, stick with it. And luckily, very, very lucky, do you know what I mean? It's one of my proudest things that everybody stayed and everybody watched throughout all that. Well, we had an AT&T guy come round here, and he said, your internet is really bad. You're on like 13. So Jenny said to him, what can you do? And he said, I could do about 100. So we changed it, and it's worked perfect since then.
I dream of that.
You know what I mean? So we have really, really good internet.
Next year, we should be getting full fibre in the village. Fingers crossed.
Because it was at the time when I was doing, like I say, the Pally Boys, and then on to USR when me, Matt, and Tez and John was starting to do it. I was on my phone. I'd just pick up my phone, Nick, because again, it wasn't something that, you know, I wasn't entertaining the fact that I'll set my own channel up. So I'm putting a phone on, pressing it, here I am. But as you get on, and like I said before, without repeating myself, is when people start to watch it, I had it up here. Well, actually, maybe I should do something a little bit different. So when Patreon came along, that's what I did. But I know, like, for stuff like this is what you've got in your house, stuff like this. Because you've just moved, haven't you? You've got a new studio.
Yeah. I've built this. This is a boiler room, but I've built it to be a soundproof. I've done some sound treatment, not soundproofing, should I say?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I started on YouTube, I was using a Chromebook that was so slow. I mean, it was worse at getting things done than you were getting to the comments, mate. It was ridiculous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it grew, man. It grew from a USB mic to that thing in the background there. Something called a Vocaster. And look, I'm conscious this is going to bore people. This is going to bore people because I'm extremely, extremely passionate about sound. I like sound. I don't judge anyone else on their sound. I'll help anyone if they want any help. Anyone. I'm not a sound engineer. I'm not an expert, but I will help anyone. Anytime you have an issue, reach out.
Sorry, Nick, just read what Joachim's wrote there.
I still find the fact they called it YouTube. In my local slang, that means you twat, you idiot.
Hi, Gilster. Nice to see you, Gilster.
But there's just so many. There's about 25 microphones in there. God knows how many boom arms.
Right. Well, so let me ask you a question then about your mics. Was it a case of you didn't like how you sounded, or you just wanted to upgrade every time?
I absolutely hated how I sounded on my first video. I sounded dog shit, man. I hope people tonight are listening. It should sound reasonably pleasant, I hope. And the problem was I didn't understand some of how Windows works with audio. And once I got my head around that and how to turn certain things off, it changed. And once I learned how to gain up a microphone, you know, how to set the volume right on it, little things like that. And I started watching microphone channels, and then I just got it was amazing roast beef, Dave. I don't know, mate. You know, how do I explain to like 50 odd people in here that a microphone excites me? What is a microphone? It's a capsule. You speak into it. It makes noise. Like I apologize, everyone. It's so boring, and I'm not going to start.
No, it's not. Well, let me ask you a question. So you got all this stuff, for example. You know, we've shown the pictures here of your setup and so forth. So you have the same thing I do, basically. If people come and watch you want to make sure that you sound good and you look
about that.
Yeah.
The way I see it, I can't do much about my image quality. I have terrible. Nick sorted me out my mic. A treat. Just move it closer. Yep, 100% there.
So
he had it the other side of the room. He had it the other side of the room. So he comes. I'll tell you in a minute. He comes on the channel. I'm like, Des is there. It's fine, and it's a bit echoey, but I'm like, that's fine. Not everyone's got this set up. And I went, if you got a microphone, were you on your? No, I'm on this thing. And he pulls out a bloody Rode Pod mic. I'm like, that's a seriously good mic. Where is it, Des? Oh, it's over there. I'm like, no, put it in front of your mouth. Put it in front of your mouth. And I'm like, all you need now is a bloody USB light shining. He's like, I've got one of those. And he turns it on and he lights up. I went, he goes, I closed all the cabinets behind me because I didn't want to distract from the show. I'm like, is that your? And he opened it up and he turned on all the LEDs. I said, oh my God, your setup is amazing, Des.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Stu says here, your voice is like Velvet, Nick, but not to Delvian's Velvet. You know, Delvian's got that voice. Like, Scuba's got that voice. Scuba's got a real radio voice. You know what I mean? So
tonight on the Action Podcast. No,
APD sounds like Mickey Mouse in real life. That's why he loves Mike on an Abbey Road setup. Oh,
so yeah. I mean, I like my gear. I'm not going to bore you all by telling you everything. I've got the pictures there. If you know, all right. So that's a Rodecaster Duo. The one behind it's a Vocaster. I work off a laptop. It's a reasonably powered laptop. I've got a second screen because Shabby, do you have more than one screen? I can't.
No, I can't multitask. I'd be a bloody nightmare. You'll see me go quiet
it's a game changer.
My wife goes mental.
It's a game. Second screen. I struggle now. I really do. I got my little lav mics in the background there. Look.
No, you're super pretty, Delvian. Super pretty.
Oh, yes.
Super pretty.
I appreciate that. I'll help anyone with it. I like it. I enjoy it. I don't know how to articulate it, Shabs. It's such a boring... People...
No, it's really so about multi-screen. It saves your life. You go into Arsuki's bedroom, right? And Arsuki's got monitors everywhere, and she's like that. And to me, my wife goes mental if I'm on the phone. I'm not listening to her, or I can't multitask it, or maybe it's an age thing. I'm a nightmare at it. So if I have more than one set, because I see you, Nick, sometimes you'll look over there, and it's obvious you're looking at another monitor.
Yeah, I've got a screen there. That's how I cheat. That's how I cheat on your quizzes, dude. How do you think I cheat on your quizzes?
But I mean, it's like I said, we went out a couple of months back and Suki said, I've got a surprise for you. And I think I was happy about a YouTube thing. I was happy about a stream that went well or so forth. Or it's when I got my internet fixed and I said to Jenny, I was happy. I was happy that, I'm not, it'll glitch here and there like everybody's, but not as bad as it was. Well, Suki bought me the PC I'm on. She went out and got me a custom made one specifically for streaming. But I'm useless. I'm honestly, I wouldn't be able to do it or even know where to start. So when you set up all this sort of stuff, it makes me like, wow, man.
There's a million things I'd like to improve there. Yeah, and Kim, to be honest with you, I've been umming and ahhing a third screen. I really have, because I can just about fit one in. Yeah. So it's like when I do the reviews for certain mic companies, people go, "Oh, can you do a review? How can it be honest if they're giving you the microphone?" Well, watch my reviews, because quite brutally honest if I don't like something on them.
BTR says he used to love big into the music hi-fi setups, but for some reason I mostly use a laptop mic for live streams, just lazy. Oh yeah, but you always started up into on your tech, done it, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, but then if I remember, I think he's either got Rode or DJI lav mics, and awesome bits of but no, so this is gonna, there were I won't lie to you, there were benefits to doing some tech reviews. For instance, like when I reviewed this mic arm, it was a really good mic arm, and it helped because obviously they gave it to me. I can't lie to you, I say it in the video, they've sent me this mic arm. I don't lie. Are there faults of it? Yeah, like I said, this bit here's cracking. They had to send me another one. This could be better here. But I don't do it just for that. Like, honestly, people, this is going to sound, how do I word it without sounding like a dickhead? I genuinely would like anyone, if you are unsure of what to buy, there are a million channels out of the search, but if you know me and you've got me on Instagram, if you're not sure,
well, there you got one.
I'll help you.
Might have to talk to APD about my audio setup. My sound is muffled when it reaches the loudest. Might be my 20-year-old speakers. I think it's so in it, because it's something like I've said, Nick, I've never thought about, simply because I never thought I'd be doing this. Do you know what I mean? I never, Look, I was never.
But do you know what I mean, Shabby? Like, and Donnie, reach out, please. I've probably got a mic you can have, mate. If you need a new mic, I've got one here. I'll just post it, mate.
I've got Gary. Blue Yeti, that's what I use now.
Blue Yeti's a good.
And that's simply but I wasn't researching mics, Nick. I saw Scuba with it, and I heard the way Scuba sounds and thought, oh, that sounds good. So I just messaged him and said, what mic do you use? And he told me, and I bought it.
Biggest thing with a mic is the distance. Everyone just have a shit audio. Watch Nick's face bug out. No, look, I don't. Look, can I just say, Nick, cable tied me. It's nice to see. I appreciate that. I do my best, but it's not that tidy. It's not a lot of room.
I agree. I'd love that. I'd definitely use that. Oh, hello.
But no,
I'd definitely use Delphi. Yeah.
Shabs, like, but do you get what I mean? It's like when you do the reviews, obviously I end up with a couple of, that's not a lot I can do. Do you know most of the mics I've been sent, when I'm done with them, I actually, there's a few people in here who I've probably sent mics to have them. I can't use them anymore. I can only use.
It's nice that you share the wealth, though, mate. It's nice that you do that. Do you know what I mean? That's a lovely thing.
If someone needs, I don't want to come across as a dickhead, but if someone needs help, if someone's unsure, just reach out. I'm not an expert by any means, and I'm not saying I am. But if you're unsure,
see, Nicholas, there's 55 people. No one got bored of that. That was awesome.
But if I could, right, I'll tell you what it is. If I can help a couple of people not make the mistakes I spend sending hundreds of pounds on equipment they didn't need to fix a problem that is not the problem they think they have. I was buying gear thinking, it's this problem, it's this microphone, it's this, or it's this. No, it never was. A lot of it came down to Windows.
Yeah.
So I spent so much money chasing. Do you remember when Cy was having that clicking issue on his iPad, and it was doing his nutting, wasn't it? He was going mad.
He couldn't work it out. He couldn't work out what it was. Yeah.
And anyway, I shouldn't have done it this way, but I sent a link in Scripts to everyone. I'm going on to StreamYard for a chat, not live, if you want to chat. And I just wanted to get him in StreamYard because I thought I knew what the problem was. And he come on, and as the host, I could change his mic settings. And I went, "Here, Si, have you noticed that? You're not clicking anymore." He's like, "How have you done that?"
I just love the way we'd say, JT writes, has he finished talking about bloody mics?
Yeah, they're boring. Let's move on. So I'm so sorry. I genuinely mean that.
Don't be daft. Shabby would have been doing hair dye advert products. If a hair dye product wants to sponsor Shabby, do you know what I mean? I've used many of them, so you never know. I don't want to come across as a dickhead, says the dickhead.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's not far from the truth. I did have Technic stat with a graphic equalizer.
Nice.
Look, yeah,
Nice.
exactly, Nick. Sharing the knowledge. That's the way I work it out. Yeah. My Volcaster is tilling its bugs in the cupboard.
Do you know what? So I bought this bit of gear here, a Mike Dictionary, through his new
mic.
Nah, trusty Shure SM58 for me. It's my favourite mic.
Look at Redmond Dealey says, as a viewer, a bad camera is not really a big deal, but as a bad mic, it really seems the stream is unwatchable. Nick is doing the Lord's work. They are, pal, you know, and you know what they say, big mic. Big mic, that's all. Right, let me get on to another question.
Sorry, guys, I can only apologise.
This is a good question for you. Look at this. APD, what's rewarding for you? Well, you know what I mean? I tell you what it is, you do a stream and it goes really well. Like tonight, I'll come off this and I'll think, because it was my first idea, and thank you so much for being my guinea pig, if you will, Nick. You were the first person I thought about doing this. I thought, I'll get Nick on because I know you talk about this and that and so on. Well, I'll come off this and it's rewarding to me, thinking, you know what, there's been a lot. Everyone seems to have enjoyed it. Everyone's coming in, and that's a rewarding thing for me. So even though I complain about, you know, the subs or whatever, this sort of stuff means the world to me. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, yeah, it's been a success, if you will. What is it to you? What's rewarding about doing YouTube, pal?
Well, I'm going to do something that's quite rewarding, and then we're going to get into this question. She'll be going to bed any minute. I'm just going to say to my wife, happy 19th wedding anniversary for tomorrow.
Oh, it's mine on Saturday. Isn't yours tomorrow? Oh,
tomorrow, and we're going out Saturday night with friends to do stuff. Because she'll be going to bed in a minute, so I thought it was our 20th. It felt longer, but it's not. It's our 19th.
It felt longer. You didn't have to ruin it, Nick. You could have just left it as it was.
No,
you know
I just want to say the most rewarding part. It's all the free. It's all the free mics, Nick.
Thank you.
Thank you, pal. Ridiculous.
Yeah, what's your most rewarding part? Because like I said, I think that's what keeps me going. And there's more rewards than there are cons, if you will. I just enjoy it. I enjoy, you know, everyone's got such a nice personality in the chat and the guests that you have on. And I just find it, I find live streaming rewarding. To me, it's more rewarding than any video I made. It really is. So what is it for you? Hi, Steve-O. Nice to see you, buddy.
What is rewarding to me? I don't know if it's there's been a few times. This is probably the wrong answer. You're probably going, this isn't relevant, but it's the only thing I can really think that sort of is.
No,
really
it comes from what comes from you, pal. So it can't be relevant, you know.
There's been a few times in the last couple of years where life was really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
not
I know that
fucking
feeling.
Nice, excuse my swearing.
No, it's all right.
And people just being nice, just reaching out, just caring. And it's not that I'm searching for attention, but what's rewarding? What's rewarding is that a daft hobby and there's people who genuinely care. That's
the thing. Rewarding. It's easy to do a stream, right? It's easy to do a stream or a video and thanks for coming in and blah, 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 blah. But the reason why I wanted to do something like this is to generally say, thank you. You know, it's thanks. It means the world to us. Because remember, none of us are rich. None of us are getting paid an absolute fortune. None of us we're taking time out of our lives to try and make a big community, if you will, or trying to give people a bit of entertainment. And it's something for us too. We enjoy doing this. So I understand what you mean by the people, Nick.
And the support of people if you're going for a bit of a shitty time, and also when you can deserve a medal for putting up with that. Like, well, who put up with who? That's all I'm saying.
Thanks, Jill. Thanks.
But she knows I love her. Thank
you, pal.
There are, but other rewarding times are times when I know we've rallied around other people as well.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, and I don't want to make you on the spot or make you sad. When November happened, fucking awful, mate.
It was weird that because I turned around to Scuba and said, I don't think I can do this. I don't. My mum and Claire talked to me about my brothers and they said, carry on. But it was talking to Scuba because I'm a everyone knows who Shabby is, who knows me. I make sure that, you know what I mean? I'm loud and I'm, hey, all right, man. You know, and it just felt weird because this is the first thing like that happened to me, Nick. And I was like, wow, what do I do? And if it wasn't for the people around me, but from YouTube, do you know what I mean? I don't know what I'd have done.
What I found amazing that night, I'm sorry, I'm going to reveal a couple of parts. You'd sort of said you weren't going to be in the chat for a little bit, and we were all like 100%, 100%. We understand, and we're all sat there, and it's not a dry eye in the house. I mean, there's just like it's hard thinking on it now how hard that was, and God knows what you were going through, and you popped on, and just I saw you come on, an absolute. You're broken, mate. You were.
And then I was. It was pretty bad.
Understandably. And after an hour, obviously it didn't remove the situation, but the support everyone rallied around.
Yeah.
And that.
It was. This is why I've stopped. In a way, one of the things that a positive to come out of this is why I did, again, why I'm doing streams like this tonight is because.
I'm sorry to bring it up, but that is a moment that, you know.
Not at all, because it does make you think, and it makes you think like, you know, you don't. Have you been taking people for granted for years? Have you been, you know, you just necessarily think you're going to put on a stream and everyone's going to turn up, or you're just going to do this and you do that. And it's put me back a bit, and it's realized, you know what I mean, that people do mean something to you, especially live streamers. Because like I say, you make a video and it's more of a personal thing, a video, but with a live stream, you're sharing it with everybody straight away. People are here right now. Whatever you say next, you can't take back. Do you see what I mean? It's there unless you take your live stream down. But I understand what the rewarding part for me is. The people, is who you've met. And, you know, I'm not going to say any names. You've had so many people that you meet, you probably have at the conventions and the toy fairs. Like, I can't believe I'm doing. You said it before. Can't believe that this is happening. I'm sat with this person or that.
It's crazy.
Funny, isn't it? Hiya, Keith. Nice to see you, buddy. Good old Gups is here.
Oh, now Keith. Oh, what guy. He's great, especially when we've had a couple of beers before.
Yeah.
Love Keith.
What do you guys think is the hardest? That's a great question. The hardest part. Coming up with I've always been a confident person. I don't really get intimidated. I'm a confident person. I think the hardest part is when you do it on your own. That's the hardest part for me, is when, because
I've not cracked that yet. I'm so
it is hard, even for someone with a personality like I have. I've only done on a handful of times, Nick and chat, live streams on my own, but it's daunting. I remember I did it once, and I think I did it too soon after Si's passing, and I finished after an hour. Someone asked me what happened to what I picked up. Do you remember what I picked up in, where I do it every month, where I do it? And I'd wanted to do that one on my own, and I did one, and I only did it for an hour. For some reason, I just felt dead overwhelmed and like, and I got panic stricken. And so I never did it again after that.
It's understandable though, mate.
But it was understandable at the time, but I didn't bring it back after that. So I think that's one of the hardest. I think you might get that too, Nikki, as well, though, because the majority of your videos, you're with people. The majority of live streams were with people. The majority of videos that we all do, you've got a guest on or something else. I think doing it on your own is what is it for you, Nick?
Well, the hardest part of doing YouTube, Nick's not bad, but in small doses. trying to think of a serious point, and I'm getting abuse. Do you know what? On a personal level, sometimes I don't when I come on your show, because you make everyone feel welcome. I don't when I go on Stu's, he makes you feel welcome. I get real bad anxiety before I go live on my own shows.
Yeah.
And the other night, I didn't give myself time to think about it. We were live before we knew it. And I get, Kim's witnessed it, Joe's heard it. I can almost become quite sort of short and shirty, like fucking, I get really quite, because is this right? Is that right? And I get really panicked. And Stu used to point it out. I've got better at it, but I used to tap my leg out of nervousness, and you could see me wobbling up and down.
You see that on me every time.
Yeah, and nerves, man. Because if anyone thinks I'm ultra uber confident, I'm not.
No, I don't get intimidated, but it's funny because I think that's what it is. I think for me, Nick, you're so used to having people around you. When you don't, you're like, oh shit.
If I know people I open up very quickly. In fact, I tell people far too much. You don't need to know my toilet habits, but you know them within an hour of chatting to me. I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah.
TMI kind of guy. When I know you. When I don't know people, I tend to shrink back into my shell a bit, and I get a bit. And YouTube, it's better now because obviously I go on my monkey boy. There's that comfort I go on. When I go on with Kim in the early days, I get really sort of tense, and I'm worrying about like the show, and I was worrying about like, is Kim going to be okay? And then when I've done other shows, like, is my guest going to be okay? And you know what? It's really hard to get nervous, but I think you're right. Sometimes you've just got to hit the effort switch and go, it's going to be what it's going to be.
And that's why I don't just do live streams. I make sure I do it on a certain day, like a schedule, if you will, and make sure I'm in the right frame of mind to do it. There has been a few times where I've put something up and I've taken it down and I've wrote to the lads, sorry lads, I'm not, you know what I mean? Something's come up or whatever. But I think you have to have that right frame of mind, don't you? Keith Knight says it's rewarding. Apart from all toys, we have very similar stories and backgrounds. We all help each other through stuff. And it is like therapy. It helped me out. And I think, I'm not going to talk about Keith and his personal life, but I know it's helping Keith out as well. It's a nice thing knowing you can pick up a phone or watch a YouTube channel and you're there, you're part of something. Coxie said, I would have been mega pissed off if Shabba. I was thinking about it, and it was my mum. My mum turned around and said, no, don't do it.
He'd have been so pissed off with you if you stopped it, man.
Yeah, he won't. Retro Bunker seems a lot of work spent on video, not many people watch it. Yeah, sometimes that's the issue. Yeah, hardest part is to keep motivated. That was one of my questions as well, but I've got enough time for one more. I've loved this tonight, so I think I'll carry this on. I think I will carry it on. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it's worked. Well, 60 people in the chat. I think it has worked, Nick. So I appreciate you coming on.
Every time you tell me the number, it's getting higher, and the nervousness comes back.
Yeah. Dear Desmucker, I've been here but painting and gluing helicopter parts. Brilliant. I have a face for radio. The less time on camera. I've always liked you on stuff, always. The ZSR lads will be doing their show off on the state of the art Zimmer frames. Yeah, we're getting on with it. Hi, Brian. Nice to see you, Brian. Dave, it's when you tap my leg that I really worry. Hey, checking in you. Good to see you here, pal. Wow. Thanks for coming in. Right, we've got one more question for you, Nick. And thank you for coming on, Mick.
Thank you for having me. I've just waffled shit for an hour and a half. Mate.
You've been absolutely awesome. Here we go. Last question. I sit back and think, what's the future of it? I always do. I always think, we've gone through the topic tonight of, ideas, this and that. But so what's the future of the APC Action Podcast channel?
Whilst I can't commit to as many shows as I used to, family life, everything, work, whatnot, Real Impact will continue. Everyone I've told will have a show, will have a show. It will happen. Just lean on me, be patient with me, and I'll get there. Lame will continue because I love Lame. Lame's my word. But there's probably gonna be a few more random live streams where I just press go because I quite enjoy it. There's gonna be a few more mic reviews and things because I enjoy it. Yeah. I got quite a thing for whiskey recently.
Well, it's funny you should say that as well because I've got that picture for you for this right here. So
I've added more over the weekend. I like a boxed whiskey.
Hey, there's your little gnome that made it into my top 5. Do you know what I mean?
The Lemmy stood there.
So you do the same thing I do because obviously I started off primarily toys. You know what I mean? Toys, and look behind me. I'm a big toy collector, toy fan. But I class myself and I class our chat and who I watch more as pop culture enthusiasts because you talk to people and there's a lot more to them than just toys. And so what I did, so when I sat back and said to myself, I'm going to do more than just videos, I want to do live streams. I made sure if you look at my history, there's live streams on everything, as there is on yours. And is that important to you then to do whatever you want on a live stream or talk about whatever you want?
Now going forward, it's going to be, I'm going to do exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
And because I know that I would like to think, Nick, you have chatted into the night many times. It's helped massively. Love my little mate. I love you too, man. You've been absolutely invaluable to me. That goes both ways, mate. I got a bit soft there, didn't we? Yeah, no, it's important to do what you want to do. And look, come along for the ride. If you enjoy watching a dickhead who stutters and stammers and makes mistakes and doesn't do things particularly brilliant, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
Right. But if not, there's no hard feelings. It's a
That's
big
the way I work
planet.
it. If you've tried us and you like us, fair enough. If you don't like, well, no hard feelings. You know,
if you want, look, if you're not subscribed and you want to subscribe, absolutely subscribe. You're welcome. Why don't you do all the whiskey distillery tours or challenge? You live too far away. See, I would have my whiskey collection. The problem with whiskey collections is I'm not someone who just buys them and looks at them. I actually drink them. So you're like, oh shit, that one's gone.
Scuba Pete makes these cocktails and stuff over here. They blow my head off. Whoa, no chance.
Scuba was a bit of an inspiration for it.
So we've seen your whiskey, we've seen your tech, but we've also seen this. This is pretty. So you do with glasses what I do with caps. I must have about 85 caps now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sunglasses for you.
I've added 2 more pairs this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't buy expensive sunglasses. If you put a pair of Ray-Ban on my head, I'm going to put them in my pocket, sit down on them and break the things or leave them on a bar.
Yeah.
But I love going in Tesco, Primark, any shop, any petrol station. If I see a cheap pair of glasses and actually, I want to know what happened. Oh, that little shit. My son's taken my blue pair of glasses. I can see they're missing. Little sod. Life's too short to. Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Do you not find, Shabby, if you are a person that collects anything, you're a collector. A collector is a collector.
I've always been around it, though. I mean, like I say, my mum was great for always buying toys and stuff. But my grandma used to cut those little brass pencil sharpener things, and she had a thing on that. And other people, it's like, oh, Jenny loves bags and loves shoes. And I think, in a way, we all are type of collect. I think I've always needed it in my life. I've never known a time me not to collect. I like, you know what I mean? I'm not a... You know, I'm not a person that goes out a lot on my own and does it. I involve myself with family, and I like being at home and raising my family. So it's just nice to get into something like this.
It's like the sunglasses. It's really sad. I love walking in the front room whenever I'm going out the house. I walk up and I just go, those today.
Wow.
Why? It's mental. Why? Sunglasses is sunglasses. They do a job, but...
Our good friend Geek Strong says, I had a whiskey at Joe Fest with scuba and stew. My throat is still burning. You dirty minds. It's not from the whiskey. I'm glad you said that. Guys. Do you know what I mean? I think the whiskey affects your vocals, Dino. Jen collects sofas too. That's what I mean. How many sofas we had in 6 or 7 months? So, yeah. You know, the future. So you're not going anywhere for a bit. You're going to stay.
No, I'm not going to promise you the most stacked schedule. I'm not, because I can't commit to that. Life is, my son's at an age now where I feel I need to be it's an important time where I'm going to have to be a little bit more present in places of the evenings. Right.
I know that feeling. Yeah.
And work's harder now because I'm getting older. I know people, I am, we're all getting older. Work a physical job, work's getting a bit harder, and I get a bit more tired. That's natural progression of life, like, you know. So I will do things as and when that I'm jealous of people who appreciate what
I'm exactly the same as VTR. That's he's just wrote there exactly why I don't do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I love rum as well, but I don't want to go down that collection. Well, there'll be too many. No, I don't look a day. Nah, don't look a day over 70.
So you're going to keep doing what you're doing then. So basically, when you make them, and then well, that's brilliant news. So anyone who doesn't know our Nick tonight, which I find very, very odd if you watch Shabbies, this is Nick right here. So this is Action Popcast. He's at 600 subscribers, and I love our Nick. I've always been a fan of APD, always. I think you've always got on for years. We've always done each other's stuff. We've always talked behind the scenes. You've just always been a decent, nice fella. And one of the nicest things, I'm a big fan of Family Men, big fan. And, you know, you're right up there, especially what me and you go through with having special needs children. So I've always been a fan of APD. And like I say, you know, the what you and Monkey Boy do, I don't think anybody. I told you this story. I'll never forget that time we had you on in the front room, right? Oh, Jenny's on the phone, right? I'm sat there. Jenny just turned around to me. She goes, "What the France are you? What the France are you watching?" I just APD.
Right.
APD,
Can I say to anyone? Right. So I put a pitch to Monkey Boy that our next that episode of Lame should be about bananas, and he's like, "What?
God, I'll never."
And he's like, "We'll never do it." I went, "I promise you, Nick, who exactly? I promise you, there's meat to the bone of this subject. This is a big subject. This isn't Fred Diner shit. This is Trevor McDonald shit, mate. There's so much going on, right?" And he's like, "No." And anyway, we did it, and people were glued for the whole 90 minutes. And we had a weird cartoon with an exploding banana that got the TR4 strain virus. We got you lot to watch us for 90 minutes talking about bananas. Think about that.
You're in the shower thinking about your life. What have I just watched?
What have I just watched? These dickheads talk about bananas for 90 minutes.
That's what you and Monkey Boy you should be very, very proud of, is over the fact that you come to yours and you haven't a clue. I mean, biscuits, bananas, do you know what I mean? It's like
crisps, ghosts.
Listen, I've always been a fan of both of you. This stream has been effing. Oh, thank you so much. Well, I'm glad you said that, because next week I've already got a guest for next week's, and we're talking about the Universal Toy Collector channel next week. So our Stu's going to be on and do this next week. So I'm really looking forward to Stu as well. I'm looking forward to him. I've enjoyed this, and I think it worked, Nick, don't you? I think.
I enjoyed it. I'm sorry that I nearly killed people with boredom in the tech section, but past that, I've really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I find Scott's too harsh, says Coxie, but Irish whiskey and bourbon I can drink neat with ice. Can you? Wow, I just can't. I'm the same as weird.
So I like a bourbon. I like a sour mash. There's differences in it. Yeah. Well, the same, but I'm not going to get boring on it. But I tell you what, I can't do. I cannot. Every time I have whiskey, I have it on the rocks. I have it with ice. Always do. Let it sit for 5 minutes. It's like when you add a bit of water. It just takes the harshness off of it. I just cannot drink Jack Daniels without Coke, which is, some people say, blasphemy. Gentleman Jack, on the rocks. Beautiful. Jim Beam on the rocks. Beautiful. Jack Daniels. I think the problem is I poisoned myself with Jack Daniels so many times and wet the bed at least twice on it as a teenager. I think Jack Daniels.
It was always rum for me. Rum and Coke I can drink until the cows come home. But I can imagine Shabby like this, and then I'm not a nasty drunk. I get loud, even like
I get very cuddly. Cuddly.
I get very kissy and cuddly. I'm always like, ask Martin, I was all over him like a bloody hot rash. What is he? But I'm a person. I'm a touchy person. You know, I'm not one of these handshaking vlogs. I'm all over you. So
mate, if we were in the same room, I'd just walk up and I love you.
Yeah, that lame banana episode was every days. Geek Strong says Nick is like whiskey. He's an acquired taste.
Absolutely.
What a great debut for Shabby's new show, the awesome Nick and all the wonderful people in chat. Well, I've absolutely enjoyed it tonight, and so there you are. There's Nick's channel. Going to get down to the chat and see what everyone's saying, then I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Cheers.
Nick's link to his YouTube channel is in the description, but we've shown it tonight. If you haven't subscribed to him, and it's like I say, if you like Shabby, you like ZSR, you like Stu, you like Reynolds, you're going to like Nick. It's as simple as that. He's just one of us. So give him a follow. See what.
Just a bit weirder.
Just a bit weirder, yeah. Maybe it wasn't the whiskey, but all this again. Thank you, pal. Thank you, pal. Thank you, pal. Honestly, you all mean the world to me for that. Because, like I said, it's something different at Shabby's, but it's just something. It's been playing on my mind. Like, I think you sit back because I'm so used to doing it, like you are, Nick, and you do it twice a week, and you and other people, you seem to forget. Why are you doing this? And what is it about YouTube that you enjoy? Because I enjoy it. And I think we found out that you do too. Nick, I found this stream, even if I missed the start, it was good fun. Thank you, Kim. It's good to see you, pal. Great idea for a stream, Shabby. Looking for. Yep, we've got Stu APD, Stu Universal Toy Collector on the next one. So that'd be awesome. Stu's on next week. Well, it was great. Well, it lasted.
And that's what we were saying earlier. That's what we were saying earlier.
I love a Scottish. No, I don't mind Scottish ale, Bri. Yeah, but it's the whiskey for me. Oh, no.
Bit of McEwen's.
Next week, Stu Magic. I'll be talking to him about that. And I think you've seen it tonight. It's not an interrogation thing. It's just talking to you about your channel and what you go through and, the feelings and all that sort of stuff. I've enjoyed it. Awesome tonight. Great stream. Great.
I had to
all of
sign
us.
an NDA before I came on. So
Yeah. All of us. I really enjoyed this. It's great to hear some behind. That's what I mean. Because, like I said, the majority of people I'm going to get on, you already know. But it'll be nice to hear what they actually think of what they do. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate this. Stu's on next week. I thought it was cancelled. No, good old Stu will be on next week. I thought the last time I drank whiskey, I was waiting.
yes, I remember that. I remember that very, very well.
Great, Steve. I'm subbing everybody. Oh, thank you, Gary. That's awesome of you.
Beautiful.
And everyone's enjoyed it, right? Next thing that you've got coming up, what's coming up next for you before we go?
I haven't. Not. There will be a real impact. Chris Smith, Lord, lean on me. Donut, lean on me. They're gonna happen, mate. Your shows are gonna happen. Lame. We were gonna do a lame this weekend, but with anniversary stuff and going out and whatnot, you got to treat the wife before YouTube. You know what I mean? That's just the way it goes.
Yeah. So we're talking about Stu's Lounge shit.
I will be back. Just keep an eye out. We'll be back. There's going to be weirdness and movie talk and general shite. Come and join us.
Come and join them. There you are. Well, that's it. That's the first one done. Episode 1 with a lovely Action Popcast. Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you all for watching. It means the world to both of us. It really, really does. And we'll see you next time. Say goodnight, pal.
Thank you so much. Good night, pal.
See you.
Bye.